grind, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get bumpy. Time to attack and dominate. This is Morning Juice with Brandon Beam and Bobby Carpenter.
And here we go on a Thursday, attacking and dominating our way to 9 a.m. every single weekday morning right here on The Fan. Brandon Beam, the General Bobby Carpenter, and of course our fearless leader and producer, Mark the Shark. Bob, made it here to Thirsty Thursday, buddy. What's going on, man? Good to talk to you.
Well, it's great to talk to you, Beamer. Excited to be in here. Excited to get things rolling. It's Thursday. We're running downhill.
Oh, yeah.
I told Shark in 10 minutes we'll only have 12 segments left.
Yeah, it's true.
He didn't like that idea, but I said that's how fast the show goes. Time flies, Shark, when you're having fun.
Oh, it really does. I mean, these 4 years of doing
Where'd the last 40 years go for you?
Yeah, right. He's been having fun his entire life. Last 4 years have flown by doing this show. I feel like the longest part of my day is from like 4:20 in the morning till 4:40 when I get out the door. That's it. Then I blink and all of a sudden I'm back home with Willie Man.
Yeah. Get you and Billy Boy. How was Billy Boy yesterday?
He was good. Yeah, he was good. He was in a great mood. I think he had a little bit of a zoo hangover. He took a 3.5-hour afternoon nap.
Really?
Just crushed his nap.
That sounds great.
Like usually,
you join him?
Yeah, not for that long. No, yeah, there's no way, or else I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. He was smoked, man. Usually, like, I don't know, 11:30, we sit down for lunch, and then we go to bed. He goes to bed right after lunch, and it was like 10:45. He's like rubbing his eyeballs and everything. He's like laying down on the ground and just relaxing. I'm like, you know what? We're going to try something different here. We're just going to do an early lunch because you seem pretty tired. So we did that, got him in bed around 11:15. He rolled around a little bit, 11:30. He didn't get up till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But he was great. Yeah, he was in an awesome mood all day long after that. He was just the most cheerful son of a gun, I feel like, this side of the Mississippi.
Well, absolutely. You have to anticipate. You get a nice long nap like that, Beam, it's really going to set you on the winning track.
For sure.
A little zoo hangover nap. No more nappy time.
Yeah, no, he definitely needed that. So it was pretty good yesterday. Just kind of hung out, enjoying the beautiful weather in Central Ohio. What about you, buddy? How was yours Wednesday?
That was good. Got a chance to head on over, check out Buckeyes practice. Before that, I went over to Germain Toyota, hung out with my guy Marcello.
Nice.
Got my new Tundra. Excited about that. So that's been a fun experience getting to familiarize myself with the new vehicle. So that was it was a good time. What else do we have? Court and I, we went over to Bonsai, had a little lunch date.
Nice.
Tuesday was busy.
Good.
I had the little deal for the combined charitable campaign for the state of Ohio. And so then yesterday we had a little lunch date. Really nice, a lot of fun. Had some sushi at Bonsai. That was good. Really enjoyed it. Ran around. We did the show, Schleggs and I, around noon. And then, just running throughout the day. And then last night, we'll get into it. We had I guess you would call it like kind of a orientation for high school last night. I'll give you some details about that a little bit later in the show, but it was a nice little 2-hour trek last night. Yeah. But I
Make sure you don't get stuffed in the locker by those seniors.
They don't have lockers anymore, Bean.
Really?
No.
That's disappointing.
What do you put in a locker?
That's a good point. They have books?
Not really.
Okay. I guess there's no need for a locker.
It's all on the iPad. I'm like, where do you put your coats? Where do you put your mirror? Where do you put all the illicit drugs that you're hiding in school? That's what Shark used to ask.
Keep the J's in your car. What if you can't drive yet?
Well, we used to have like, you put like your sports stuff in there.
Yeah.
You could buy like the locker shelves that you would drop in there. I don't know if you saw those, so you could have more levels to it. But yeah, they don't have lockers in schools anymore.
That's crazy.
What do you put in them?
Yeah, I guess I should ask Mayor because they have a new building too. So
ask her. I guarantee you.
There's no way.
If they have some, it'll be a very minimal amount.
Yeah, that's a great point. I don't know what I was talking about. We got an awesome show lined up for you here this morning. D-Line had some media availability yesterday over at Ohio State practice. You're going to hear from Larry Johnson, some of his rushmen coming up here in our next segment. We got some Big Ten news to go over here. Kirk Ferentz is going to be suspended for a game. We'll get into that. Dylan Raiola announced the starting quarterback at Nebraska. So do some Big Ten talk coming up here at 7:35. Top of the 7 o'clock hour, we will get into biggest college football games of the year, most highly anticipated ones. We'll do that. We'll talk some tight ends in the 7 o'clock hour as well. Look at that unit. And then at 7:35, Jackets insider Jeff Svoboda. He's going to join the program. Talk all things Jackets with him now that Line A is gone. Cole Sillinger signed a contract extension yesterday. Get into some CBJ talk with him at 7:35. 8:05, Albert Breer, the MMQB. Join us. He'll talk some NFL. And then 8:35, the great Berm. He will join us to talk some Buckeyes. Before we get into anything else today, it is Thursday, the 22nd day of August, 2024. Time for Today in History.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, Bob, what you got lined up for us today, buddy?
Oh, goodness, Beam. We've got ourselves a nice, robust day here on this August 22nd. Thursday, August 22nd, 235th day of the year, 131 days remaining in this 2024. This day, 1864, the 12 nations signed the first Geneva Convention stating the rules of armed conflict.
Seven-Nation Army.
Maybe a little bit of that. 1902, the Cadillac Motor Company is founded up in Michigan. Same year, 1902, Teddy Roosevelt is the first president to make a public appearance in an automobile.
All right. Nice.
Before, well, they didn't have cars for that. They were riding right. They called him the Rough Rider, Beam, because he was riding on horses. 1959, Frank Robinson of the Cincinnati Reds hits 3 consecutive home runs. In 1965, pitcher Juan Marichal, pitcher for the Giants, hits John Roseboro in the head with a pitch. He played for the Dodgers, leading to a 14-minute brawl.
You know, Marichal was very angry in that game because some Dodgers were heckling him. It was they hate each other, those teams. Anyway, the catcher, Johnny Roseboro from Ashland, Ohio, he ordered Sandy Koufax to bean Marichal when he came up to the plate.
What's the plunk signal, you think?
inside thigh. So Koufax wouldn't do it. He wasn't that type of pitcher. And so
what?
And
waving off his catcher?
The
Cowboy
catcher, Roseboro, on the throw back to Koufax, whizzed one right past Marichal's ear. And
the catcher?
Yeah, the catcher. And Marichal turned around and took a bat and hit him in the head.
I was going to say, you're pretty close proximity, and he has a bat and you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing? That's amazing.
Roseboro was bleeding all over the place, but this was Roseboro the next day in an interview.
John, first, you got a rather serious blow yesterday. How are you feeling now?
Well, I feel fine, Mel, and it's not quite as serious as they made it out to be. It's just a little scalp abrasion that bled a lot, that's all. In my opinion, it's all over. If anything has to come of it from me, then they can forget it, because there'll never be another incident between Marichal and I, unless he makes a mistake and starts something. And of course, I'll be there when it happens. But as far as being vindictive or anything like that, it's almost forgotten. My wife didn't like my head being bashed open too well, but she'll get over it.
I thought it was just a scalp abrasion.
I thought that's what it was, not your head being bashed in.
I mean, it's done on my side unless he wants to start something.
I love it.
I mean, that is great.
14-minute brawl, it's over. We're done.
That is good stuff. Thank you for finding that, Sharky, in the Wayback Machine. This day, 1989, Nolan Ryan has his 5,000th K, Beam. First pitcher to do that. Do you know who he struck out?
Ooh. I don't.
The all-time steals leader.
Ricky Henderson?
Struck out Ricky Henderson.
Ricky Henderson leading off at the top of the fifth. The A's 1 of the Rangers nothing. Flash bulbs continue to pop on every pitch now. At 8:51 p.m. Texas time, Nolan Ryan gets number 5,000. Ricky Henderson will be in the record books as strikeout number 5,000.
You know what's amazing about Nolan Ryan is that he's still like 1,000 more up on the next guy, who's Randy Johnson, I think, Shark, who was second all time. Clemens is at number 3. But he got the record at what, like 3,500? Yeah. And then he finished his career with 57. I mean, it's insane.
For like 28 years. Yeah. It was something crazy.
I mean, he passed Walter Johnson to be the all-time leader in strikeouts and then had like 2,000 more.
Yeah.
Insane. Absolutely insane.
I mean, the guy was a legend. Some birthdays today. Stormin Norman Schwarzkopf, born on this date, 1934. Carl Yastrzemski, the 18-time All-Star MVP, 7-time Gold Glover Glover Triple Crown winner, turning 85 today, Sharky. And then Bill Parcells, my former coach, 2-time Super Bowl winner, took 4 different squads to the playoff, 19 seasons as a head coach in the NFL, turning 83.
What's the matter, Big Easy? Is camp getting hard for you? Take those old records off the shelf, and I'll listen to them by myself. Today's music ain't got no soul. I like that old-time rock and roll. You know, I had this one kid, Lawrence Taylor. Now, every linebacker in the league thinks they're worth $900,000. Fred Young, Chip Banks, Pickett, just name them. There's a list of them. I got a guy that's a 350 hitter for 8 years. A guy's hit a 350 one time. They want the. It's awful. I tell you, he's a stone face, that Bavaro now. You know what the hell he's thinking. I'd hate to have to fight that son of a gun. Don't worry about doing everything perfect now. Just get out there and run like hell and catch it, all right? You know what I mean? Like a street game. If you get your feelings hurt, that's too bad.
My mother, God bless her, may she rest in peace, was volatile.
Let me tell you what I'm scared of. I'm scared of spiders, snakes, and the IRS. I hate drills, walkthroughs. That's all we have now. We used to come out, practice football. Now we're having team meetings on the field. If we didn't have a script, we couldn't coach. I didn't know what a script was about the first 5 years in coaching. We got a crisis every 15 minutes. Matt Barr's got a little flu. Tell him to throw up on his own time. We got a game today. Throw up after the game.
Guy's amazing. I mean, if he was still coaching, I wonder what he'd say. Walk through. He's not come out here on real practice.
Every linebacker thinks that they're worth $900,000.
He was talking to Tony Dungy when he said that. Dungy was at that time the defensive coordinator for the Ravens, and he was talking about Ray Lewis. He said, you know, we got a guy, Lawrence Taylor, making $900,000. Your guy wants that much, and Chip Banks, $900,000. They make that a game now.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
It's almost league minimum.
He's a 350 hitter for 8 years. Guy comes in here, it's 350 once.
Thinks he deserves that.
That is so Bill the whole time. Ty Burrell of Modern Family, Phil the Thrill, you may know him as being, turning 57. Jahari Evans, longtime Saints guard, 5-time All-Pro, turning 41. Randall Cobb, former Packers and Jets wide receiver, turning 34. Adam Thielen, also turning 34, the 2-time Pro Bowler. And Max Crosby
with 2 X's.
Max with 2 X's being well done, the Eastern Michigan product. And the Las Vegas Raiders star DN, 2-time All-Pro as well. Some holidays he turns 27. Some holidays and observances. Be an Angel Day, Eat a Peach Day, National Bad Day, National Hamburger Day, Take Your Cat to the Vet Day, National Tooth Fairy Day, Never Seen Better Day, Southern Hemisphere Hootie Hoo Day, Hootie Hoo Beam, and and World Daffodil Day. And those are your historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date, Thursday, August 22nd, the 3rd Thursday of the month, the 235th day of the year, and 131 days remaining in this 2024.
Good job on that, Bob, as always. What's it like for Larry Johnson to be coaching one of his most veteran group of linemen that he's ever had? You're going to hear from the Ohio State D-line coach coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. Right now on your Thursday, no crashes we are watching traffic pick up in a couple spots, including on 161 out in the New Albany area and on 33 coming in from the southeast side. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Bob's Discount Furniture is coming to Polaris, and Bob's Discount Furniture wants you to win big this football season. It's easy. Get online and go to 971thefan.com to register to win a $1,000 gift card to Bob's Discount Furniture, so you can watch your favorite football team sitting in your new Bob's recliner or couch this season. Wow. That's $1,000 from Bob's Discount Furniture. All you have to do is register to win on the Fans Contest page at 971thefan.com. Hurry, contest ends Wednesday, August 28th. See complete contest details online at 971thefan.com.
Let's get to the crisis at the southern border now.
U.S. officials now warning that the situation is nearing a, quote, breaking point.
America's southern border crisis was caused by career politicians like Sherrod Brown. For nearly 50 years while in office, Brown ignored the problem and even called the border wall ludicrous.
Think the border wall is ludicrous?
Now Sherrod Brown wants to make the crisis even worse. Brown voted with fellow radicals like Kamala Harris to give illegals taxpayer-funded stimulus checks, health care benefits, even Social Security checks, encouraging millions more to pour across our border. Career politician Sherrod Brown caused the crisis, but businessman and Trump-endorsed political outsider Bernie Moreno will fix it. In Congress, Moreno will partner with President Trump to deport illegals, build the wall, and solve the crisis at our southern border. Trump-endorsed political outsider Bernie Moreno for U.S. Senate.
I'm Bernie Moreno, and I approve this message.
Paid for by NRSC and authorized by Bernie Moreno for Senate.
Welcome to the plus side, where a AAA Plus membership means that an empty gas tank won't keep you from a full day, and where a dead battery can't stop you from being the life of the party. Because on the plus side, roadside mishaps don't have to ruin your day. With AAA Plus, tire changes, battery swaps, and emergency fuel are just a tap away. AAA gets to you faster, and if you need a tow, we'll take you further. Become a member today and experience peace of mind on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply.
Most radio stations suck. Here's why. They don't invest in local programming. We're live and local 14 hours a day. You can rest assured that every stupid thing we say is 100% local. Homegrown, dumb since day one. The Fan.
Pain from arthritis can be just awful. That constant pain that's nagging. Listen, I've experienced it. I don't like it. It was in my knee, but it's feeling better now because it robs you of the stuff you want to do. But there's effective ways to deal with that pain, and my dad and I can both tell you about it. We were able to get lasting relief without medication or surgery. Listen, there's exciting new cellular therapies that can get you lasting relief, and the place that we went was QC Kinetics right here in Columbus. We went and saw Dr. Ray Tesner and his team at QC. They used their cutting-edge treatments to accelerate our own body's healing properties. His knee was bothering him. He couldn't walk around the way he wanted to. Him and my mom liked to take walks. He was able to go through their treatment protocol and feel so much better. I was able to get it on my knee, and I can move around again. It was the relief from that chronic pain that you don't really enjoy at all. So learn how QC Kinetics can use advanced regenerative medicine to treat your pain. So go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. Give them a call at 380-208-4544. They have 3 offices in Dublin, Gahanna, or Grove City.
If a friend asks how you're doing, and you say,
I'm okay.
When the truth is,
I don't want my problems to burden anyone.
Or you say,
hang it in there.
Because
if I ask for help, they'll just think I'm weak.
Then this is your sign to call, text, or chat 988 for free, confidential support. Anytime. You don't have to hide how you feel.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're looking at a cool morning out there. 40s and 50s will warm back up into the low 80s by this afternoon as sunshine continues across the region. Temperatures tonight dropping down into the mid-50s, mostly clear. Friday will be back up into the mid-80s out there as temperatures continue to rise this weekend. Highs back into the 90s by the Saturday and Sunday afternoon. That's your latest forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
If you can find a show that's closer to Buckeye football, it would be hosted by Ryan Day. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hey, you said it's National Tooth Fairy Day. I got a question, and you can pop in. We're on YouTube now, on the YouTube chat. You can always tweet us too at MorningJuice971. Tooth Fairy, what's the going rate for the Tooth Fairy now? What's the Tooth Fairy dispersing here as we, just wondering that.
Oh, I would say, I don't know. A lot of people say first time maybe $5. After that, couple bucks. I'm not sure. Some people do 10 and 5. Depends on what zip.
Do we have different Tooth Fairies for different zip codes?
Depends on what zip code you live in.
Okay.
Maybe your Tooth Fairy, how heavy their sack is.
Yeah.
Their bag of gold doubloons.
Yeah, I just was wondering because Willie, we were at the playground yesterday, and there was a mom there. She was with her daughter, and she was 17 months old. William, 17 months. He'll be 18 months, year and a half coming up here. in a couple of weeks' time. And she's like looking at him. She goes, how many teeth does he have? I said, well, all of them, basically. Like, all of his teeth are basically in. Like, maybe he's working on some back ones. He's been a bit drooly lately. But, like, I mean, he's got, like, a full mouth of teeth. And she goes, that's weird. My daughter only has 2. And I'm like, they're, like, 2 weeks apart.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's kid, Caleb, he has his 2, like, big front teeth in.
Yeah.
And there's kids that I saw, like, on his flag football team that haven't lost any of them. And it took forever for his one. He was like snaggletooth forever, but now they're in.
God, nothing used to make me more nervous than pulling teeth.
Oh yeah,
I mean, used to get the string tied around it, Bob, and just yank it out of there. And especially too when it was loose. Like I just remember it's burned into my memory. Like it was a piece of tooth floss or whatever, and my stepdad attached it to a door handle, and I was standing right there. I mean, the tooth is real wobbly. Like, it's about ready to come out. If I pulled it with any conviction, like, it's coming out. And I just remember my stepdad being like, all right, ready? I'll count to 3. 1, and then he shuts the door and tooth just comes immediately out. It was one of the scarier moments of my life, waiting in anticipation of my tooth being ripped out of my head.
Really?
Yeah. You don't remember any of that?
Yeah, I would never do the door thing. I would just lean in and, like, pop it. People would, like, take Legos and hit them out like that way.
That sounds even worse.
I feel like it's a little safer. I mean, shorter distance. You're going to deal with doors and everything else beam. Like the Lego, I feel like the Lego situation was, you know what? I don't really remember how all my teeth came out.
I just remember that one. I remember it was like it was like this canine.
I'd have one of them ripped out by the dentist because it was, like, slow to come out.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's not fun.
It wasn't bad. I mean, they grabbed with these, like, set of pliers and popped it right out. It actually didn't hurt too bad at all. So that was it was okay.
So we had defensive line media availability last night over at the Woody. Listen, this is a veteran group, right? I mean, we know that. You got the 2 ties in the middle. You got JT, and you have Jack Sawyer, who's a captain on this team, who are going to be front-loaded. You've got 5 or 6 guys in the interior, Bob, and then you've got a couple of guys on the edges you can swap out. Larry Johnson has always talked about, rotation, keeping these guys fresh. I didn't really see that at the end of last season. I mean, in the Michigan game, I feel like that same front 4 were out there for so long, and they got bogged down, right? And so the key to the defensive line...
Well, they rotated a lot the year before. This year, last year, they didn't rotate really at all. And so there's a fine line. Like, you want your best players to be playing the most, but you also want your best players to be fresh, be ready to go. And if there's not a significant drop between 1s and 2s, like, you should probably be at a 65-35, 60-40. Like, you want to get a lot of guys, a lot of reps.
Here was Larry Johnson last night just talking about the veterans on this team and what it's like for him on a coaching level to coach these guys up.
The fact that those guys, the older guys, now have someone to look up to. A year ago, we didn't have that. They didn't have a guy to set the bar. Now the Jacks, the JTs, the Tyleek have really done a great job of setting the bar for the younger players. So that's a bonus for me. So now you can lean on the veterans who help move the young guys. You know what I mean? Now the key is to stay consistent as a unit, as a group. And that's the biggest key to me. Can we stay consistent? Can we play really hard? People say we have talent. Talent is only a small part of what we have to do. It's the ability to play hard. And playing hard and Big 12 will override talent in a day. And I firmly believe that. And so now to get those guys to play really hard and run to the ball every play, every snap. And that's what we're training right now to make sure they understand the importance of that.
The good news for Buckeye fans is these guys are talented and they're also hardworking.
Oh, yeah. Really hardworking, really talented. Like, they've got a great group there. It's a veteran group. And when you've got guys like Kenyatta Jackson and Caden Curry as your backup defensive ends, very talented. Mitchell Melton will roll through there. You've got some other young guys that are very good. Schlage's guy, K-Mac.
Yeah.
McDonald in there inside. They've got a number of Hero Canoes flash. Like, they've got some guys.
He's got a fascinating story, doesn't he?
Oh, he does. The German?
Yeah.
Das Boot.
Comes over here, plays 1 or 2 years of high school football, and then is, I don't know if he was an Under Armour All-American, but Army All-American, I think.
Yeah.
Played in one of those games, comes here, and I just looking at those guys at some of the videos that they post on social, I'm like, he has gotten rather large since, like, coming here at Ohio State. And he's put on some weight. He's put on some muscle. I'm like, that guy can manhandle a couple of people in there.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's a big boy. And so they're all a little bit different body types with what they're going to give you with different skill sets, but they have plenty of guys inside to be able to get after it. And so Larry wants to roll them. And it'll be interesting kind of how he deploys them and whether he kind of blends them in or he does full wave line changes. I'm excited to kind of see this.
Here was Coach Larry Johnson about the depth that he has in his unit.
We're still building it. I think the ends are solid. I think the 5 ends we have coming back. Mix is really good there. We'll try to find another piece to go along with those guys. I think the inside guys is, we can probably get 6 out of that group. We just got to wait and see how to go forward. So we like to have 4 if we can going into the season, plus a 5th guy. Give us a 6-7 guy who can go with us and can play positions. But we're still building that right now as we go.
What about the inside? I mean, I know that we talk a lot about JT Tuimoloau, Jack Sawyer. What about the 2 ties? Tyleik Williams, Ty Hamilton.
The D-ties.
The D-ties and what they're doing this year right there in the middle of the defensive line.
You have to appreciate what Tyleik and Ty did last season in the middle. And if you go back and watch the video tape, those guys did a great job of managing the middle. They really played really well on the inside. And so what you want to get out of that guy, you want to get pass rushers too. So you don't want to take those guys off the field. Like, Tyleik can rush the passer. And then Ty, we've got to get Ty to rush the passer also. So that's the thing I think is important. You can find a guy who can rush the passer, play the run, and you got a bonus on 3rd down. You can leave that big guy in the game to rush the passer.
All this Ohio State defense talk, Bob, about, and I know that Caleb Williams said we got the chance to be one of the best to ever do it in the game, and I think the expectations are crazy high. None of this happens without the interior of that defensive line being able to stop the run and force some pressure on the passer. None of it happens without those guys.
Oh, yeah. You need beasts. You need some dudes. And those guys are definitely that. Very excited for them. But you have to be able to push the pocket from the inside so that you can have your defensive ends have success, and they've got to be able to gobble it up inside for the run. If this defense wants to be the best, you have to be good against all of them.
And they were really, really good against the run last year. Mm-hmm. Really, really solid. One more from Coach Larry Johnson. What about his thoughts on sacks? Maybe a bit overrated.
We're not chasing sacks. We're just chasing an opportunity to get a W, first of all. But I think the most important thing in the contents of our defense, how we play. We have to play in confinement of our defense. If we can do that and play really well, then, I'm okay with that. I'm not worrying about the sacks. That's just a number to me. Is winning games have a chance to affect the quarterback throwing the ball. It was a 3-step, 5-step, 7-step. How can we affect them? Is that get our hands matching the hands and we're knocking them down? Those are things that change the game also.
Larry Johnson would not be thrilled with Randy Gradishar. Cut inside.
Exactly. Be the hero.
He does it.
Be the hero. Make the play, Beam. Be the hero. That's what I learned.
We're going to play in our defense. Make sure these quarterbacks are contained. I don't care about the sack numbers. It's just about a win.
That's what I learned from Hall of Famer Randy Gradishar. Right. Hall of Famer. All right. Let's think about winter for a second. Feels a little bit like fall on the horizon. I know it's not cool. We want to enjoy summer like Sharky. But last year, heating bills got crazy high. Electric bills this summer, when it was 90, were probably incredibly high as well. Homes are freezing or cold. You do nothing. I want to tell you about my friends at Pella Columbus. They want to help you out. The window that you voted the leading and most trusted brand. They're giving you a reason to think about that right now. They've got a phenomenal offer for you. 0% financing for 60 months or 50% off qualifying installations. That is good through the end of the month, folks. So you've got about 10 days left to try to get that done. 9 days here. The local Pella team, they're amazing. Go check out their showroom in Polaris or go visit them online at PellaColumbus.com.
We got a freshman starter in the Big Ten that we're pretty familiar with here in Columbus. Do that and some other Big Ten news next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and happy Thursday. Right now, no crashes to tell you about, but we are watching traffic pick up on 33 coming in westbound from the Canal Winchester area. Also watching traffic pick up on the far west side on I-70. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stutterwald with your fan traffic.
Check out the all-new John Hinderer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram facility in Heath and experience the difference. We're your exclusive AgPack dealer, offering up to $30,000 in savings and benefits. And if you're tired of waiting at the dealership for service, take advantage of our service made simple with Carvenience or mobile service. Home of the lifetime powertrain guarantee and one of the largest selections in Central Ohio. John Hinderer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Route 79 in Heath, or HindererCDJR.com. We love what moves you.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam over here from my great friends over at Wendy's. And Wendy's new saucy nugs, well, they're here. That means the best nugs in the entire game are now even better. You can choose between Wendy's iconic crispy or spicy nugs covered in bold, flavorful sauces, including buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, and even spicy ghost pepper. Eat them with a fork, eat them with your hands, eat them for lunch, eat them after midnight. There's no wrong answer. For a whole new way to nug, it's got to be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later at participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location.
And what is it called?
A ceiling fan.
And where is it?
It's on the floor.
And why is that a problem?
Well, see, the person who named it probably should have called it a floor. No, that's not right. The guy on TV I saw put up a ceiling fan.
Are you a TV star, Paul?
No, I'm not.
Are you an electrician, Paul?
I am not.
You are?
I am a middle management accountant, and I shouldn't be putting up ceiling fans.
You should.
Call the pros who knows.
Apex
Pros.
The pros who knows know electrical work, too. Hi, it's Alex from Apex Pros, and if you liked us for plumbing, cooling, and heating, you're gonna love our pro electricians.
Apex Pros are on the way.
Much easier, isn't it?
I'm glad we sorted this out.
Me too.
Columbus loves the pros who knows. Schedule with one click at apexpros.com.
Remember the Cotton Bowl back in December and how you wanted to die? The Buckeyes are back, baby, and hopefully much better than the Cotton Bowl. The most anticipated season in history is here. We're your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Have you ever heard someone say that they just don't make or do things like they used to? While that may be true for many things, there is one company who strives to deliver the customer experience and quality product that we all reminisce about. And that company, well, it's Newman Roofing. You can read it time and time again in their reviews, how much they truly care about their customers and the roofs that they install. And I should know, they installed a roof for me and my family, and it was tremendous. Their sales team was fantastic, and the quality was phenomenal. They strive to leave the home as they found it. And some customers say they even leave it cleaner than it was before, and I can second that. Not only do they install a quality product that is going to protect your home and family for years to come, but they also walk away leaving you feeling confident that you hired the right company. Whether you need a roof repair or replaced, call the company that families have been trusting for 32 years, and that company is Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF or newmanroofing.com.
Progressive presents Renters MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Emily Neal's 70-inch TV. Because after watching her second-grade students yell at each other for hours, there's nothing Emily enjoys more than watching super-rich housewives also yell at each other. Why? Because those women are not her responsibility. And that's why her TV is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Are you ready to build your company's dream team? Just like in sports, finding skilled players is essential for success. With Robert Half's winning combination of specialized recruiting professionals and award-winning AI, we'll help you find the MVPs and key role players who will have you hanging banners in the rafters. Because in business, it's all about having the experienced team on your side. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
Hash browns and smackdowns. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Giving up 1 hour away from right now. Jackets insider Jeff Svoboda. He's going to join the program, 7:35. Albert Breer is going to join us at 8:05. And then at 8:35, we're going to be joined by Berm, talking all things Buckeyes as well. So all kinds of good stuff coming up here later on in the program. Bob, we got some Big Ten news to go over. I saw this morning that came down. I don't know if it was late last night or early this morning, but apparently Iowa coach Kirk Ferentz and assistant John Budmeyer are going to be suspended for a game for a violation related to the recruitment of transfer quarterback Cade McNamara, according to multiple reports. Timestamp on this from Rittenberg was 1:20 here this morning. Ferentz, as we know, is the nation's longest tenured FBS coach. He has been at Iowa since 1999, and Budmeyer serves as the team's wide receivers coach, and he was an analyst back in 2022. And according to reports, the suspension are related to an NCAA investigation. Iowa is set to open the season August 31st at home against Illinois State. He is scheduled to speak to the reporters today after they wrap up their training camp, and The Athletic was the first to report the suspension. The interesting part about this is that we don't know if it's an NCAA suspension handed down from them or if it's a self-imposed suspension handed down by the university. We still don't know.
Well, what's amazing is Cade McNamara has been there for a whole year. correct?
He just joined them in the offseason.
Oh, I guess it's, well.
It's been a long offseason.
Yeah, okay.
Been a long offseason.
It seems like he's been there since last, all right. So what was it, back in February, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Or back right at the end of the season?
McNamara committed to Iowa on December 1st.
Yeah, so that's what it was. So what?
He didn't play in the bowl game.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. He wasn't around then. I wonder if he still gets his ring. Because that's what I thought it was like last year. It is so long ago. It was like 9 months ago now.
No, Bob, you're right. He was there last year on December 1st of 2022.
Yes.
And then he got hurt last year a few games into the season.
I was going to say, he played last year for Iowa.
You're right.
You guys made me look at me like I'm...
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did.
Pull it up.
Yeah, he did.
He played for him and all the tight end transferred in together.
Yes, Eric All, you're right about that.
Okay, I was like, Eric All.
And then he actually started game one for Michigan.
That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Because McCarthy started all the games.
One of my coaches used to say thought crapped himself and didn't use the term crap. So we never say that. I'm fairly certain that what I was saying.
Cade McNamara last year started a game against Utah State where he was 17 of 30, 191 yards and 2 touchdowns.
There we go. Good job, Bob.
Wow. That had to be a season high for the Hawkeyes.
It's a great
Pretty
point,
sure you're
Shark.
accurate on that, Shark.
I mean, 191, I would doubt that we're...
Did they have a game where they threw for over 200 yards?
Oh, let's look here.
Let's take a little gander. Take a peek. Go to
schedule.
Season leaders. Don't go to schedule. You're going to want to go to
statistics.
Statistics. There you go.
And we'll go to 2023 season leaders. All right. Come on, man. Their leading quarterback last year threw for 1,100 yards.
Well, one of those games could have been an explosion, Beam.
Let's go to the game log. Deacon Hill, who is now at Utah Tech, threw for 223 against Rutgers.
All right, look at that. Offensive
20 of 31, 223, 1 touchdown, 1 pick.
Look at that. Wasn't even the leader, Shark. Don't ever...
And then the next weekend, he followed it up with 167 and a touchdown against Illinois.
I mean, gosh.
We were on fire at that point.
He might have been Pat Mahomes.
God, I can't believe Cade McNamara's been in Iowa for 2 years. It does.
You guys said that.
I know. Yeah, I know.
I started questioning my own sanity.
Well, we said it with so much confidence.
Shark. He just transferred in December. I'm like, okay, well, that makes you feel better. But I'm like, wait. I swear all came in.
Yeah.
And I remember Cade throwing the ball to Luke Lachey.
Yeah.
And I thought the irony of that. So, okay.
So you're saying that he transferred in December of 22.
2022, yes. So it'll be 2 years.
He wasn't there for the TCU debacle.
No, he wasn't. You're right. He had pulled ripcord at that point. But the interesting part was he was only in the portal for 3 days before going to Iowa.
It's a short portal.
That's a short
portal. Well, yeah, because he was probably on the sidelines for the Ohio State Michigan game, end of November.
Yeah.
And you're saying he went there December 1st.
Yeah, he would have been on the probably not for the Big Ten championship game then, which is weird.
Because that would have been after he transferred.
Yeah. Anyways, Kirk Ferentz is going to be suspended for a game coming up here.
Which is wild that it took that long.
Yeah.
I mean.
So that makes me think now, this timeline, that's NCAA imposed.
I would have to imagine. Because there's
20 months.
Yeah, that's a long, long time. Unless the NCAA started talking to them about it, and then Iowa self-imposed. But yes, that's a NCAA-style timeline, something that takes 2 years to adjudicate, Beam.
So we've also been talking about Nebraska and where they are at this year, and whether or not Dylan Raiola was going to be
back.
Whether Nebraska, who is more back, Bob, the U or Nebraska? Maybe that'll be the fan poll for tomorrow. Now, Nebraska has
We already have a fan poll for today?
We do. I did it last night, actually.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. A lot. You want to get out the couch? You want to sit there with a notepad?
It was like, should Billy eat yogurt or applesauce? Was that the fan poll?
Basically.
I mean, what is the fan poll today, Shark?
Well, you have to wait till the end of the show.
When did Cade McNamara transfer? 2022, 23, 24? Still at Michigan? Those are your options?
Still there, hanging out. So Dylan Raiola is going to be the starting quarterback. He comes in as the number 3 ranked quarterback, 11 overall player in the 2024 ESPN 300. Fascinating recruitment for this guy, right? Commits to Ohio State. Transfers high schools, goes down to, I want to say Buford, Georgia, maybe somewhere around there. Transfers to Georgia.
William Buford, Georgia.
Decommits decommits from Ohio
Like that
State.
first and last meme.
It was good. It was it's like a before and after.
Or
from
before and
Jeopardy.
after, I mean, yeah.
So decommits from Ohio State, then commits to Georgia. Decommits from Georgia, commits to Nebraska, goes to Nebraska, enrolls early, and now all of a sudden he's going to be the starting quarterback at Nebraska. It wasn't going to be a long time before we saw Dylan Raiola play in a Nebraska uniform. I am a skosh surprised that he is starting straight out of the gates.
Well, it's a little bit like having a rookie quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Do you play the guy right away? Do you think you have a team that's good enough to go out there and compete? Do you want to let him learn on the job? Is he competent and confident enough to be able to manage tough situations, not go out there and just look foolish, knowing that he's going to make some mistakes?
Yeah, for sure he's going to make mistakes.
But you're going to let him grow through that. He'll be a lot better week 8 than he was week 1. But you've got to be ready to ride that roller coaster a little bit in between.
Yeah, for sure you're going to have to. And their schedule, I mean, they could be a team full of confidence when they come here to Columbus.
I was talking to some guys at Ohio State. There's a good chance they'll be undefeated.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a really good opportunity for that. So if you look at their win total for this year, it's 7.5. Now their schedule sets up.
They could very easily be 6.
4 pack of home games to start off the year. They get UTEP at home to start off the season next weekend. That's a 3:30 kickoff. They are at home against Colorado, which I don't know really what to make of them right now at this minute in time.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a big game for them, Kickstarter. They get Northern Iowa and then home against Illinois on a Friday night banger. They do have to go to Ross.
Who's that big non-conference you said?
Colorado.
Yeah.
Colorado.
I think they beat Colorado this year.
And they're at home. They're at home, and that's in prime time.
Somehow is getting 9% of the votes for Heisman. So
like the preseason votes?
Not votes, but bets are coming in on him, which is essentially voting with dollars.
They have to go to Ross-Ade Stadium, which, as we know, is always a tricky place to go and play.
Purdue was picked to be the 18th team in the Big Ten.
That's true, but that's a noon game, and that's a weird spot. We know it. It's a weird place.
Well,
now they are
in front of 25,000 people.
They are
at home. The world's largest drum.
Don't forget that. They are at home against Rutgers, I like Rutgers this year. I like Rutgers.
So my theory, Rutgers, Nebraska, and Wisconsin, maybe it's the Red Squad. I feel like all of those teams, one of them could punch up and maybe get to 9 wins.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who it could be. But I feel like Wisconsin, I feel like Rutgers might be the best positions of that when they've got Monungai at running back. I mean, Greg Schoen
did lose their starting linebacker for the year with an Achilles.
That's a bummer because their defense was going to be pretty stout.
Yeah. So then they're at Indiana in B-Town, and then it's Ohio State. That is their 7th game of the year. I mean, you could very well be looking at a 7-0 Nebraska team when they come in here if Dylan Raiola is able to, instead of be riding the roller coaster, Bob, have more ups than downs.
Absolutely. So you've heard us. Oh, that was not. Shark gave these to me in the wrong order, Sharky. It's all right. I still love you. It's almost pool season. Check that. Pool season's almost over. It's time to go see my folks at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in the testosterone hormone replacement therapy industry. They're not just here to optimize your T levels. No, they're here for weight loss as well. Affinity can help you lose weight and alleviate the symptoms that come with low testosterone. They have everything you need up there. They've got semaglutide injections for weight loss. They've got testosterone treatments to get you feeling your best and optimize your health. So you can say goodbye to low libido, low energy, hello to weight loss and muscle gain. Who doesn't love that? And you can still wear cutoffs all through the fall, Beam. A cutoff isn't just a shirt,
I'm not wearing a
shirt for the
shirt.
summer.
I'm not wearing a shirt tomorrow to work.
I like that. You don't need to, Beam. You'll be ready to go. So check them out at feelgreatcolumbus.com. That's feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Speaking of rookie quarterbacks, one's a freshman, one's a rookie. What does one rookie quarterback in the NFL have in common with John Elway? We'll do that in Quick Hitters coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, no major crashes on your central Ohio roadways. Seeing busy traffic in a couple spots, including on 33 out in Plain City. Also on I-71 as you come into downtown. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina, your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
We're dealing at Reichert Nissan. Hundreds of Nissans in stock, on the ground, and priced to sell fast. Low lease payments on brand new Reichert Nissan Sentras, only $219 a month. Now we're really dealing. With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Visit the Reichert Mega Mall off 270 and 33 or shop thousands of new and certified used at ReichertNissan.com.
Get the right car at Reichert.
We're dealing.
With approved credit. 2024 Sentra SV FWD 36-month lease with $3,000 due at signing. Offer ends 9/3/24.
At Baths R Us, we're terrible roofers. We stink at installing siding. And don't ever call us for your kitchen remodel. But if you want a stunning, beautiful bathroom makeover in just 2 or 3 days, now that's when you want to call us. See, unlike most contractors these days, we offer only one service, bathroom remodeling. We don't spread ourselves thin by doing roofing or siding and a bunch of other stuff. Nope. At Baths R Us, we dedicate every company resource into mastering the craft of bath transformations. It's why we're the Midwest's biggest 5-star family-owned bathroom company. And it's why we have the happiest customers. Just check out our Google reviews. Baths R Us. We're terrible roofers, but we're awesome bathroom remodelers. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsrus.com. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
The Super Sale is back this Friday and Saturday only at Meijer. Shop for sports, family dinners, or get-togethers, and find super low prices on favorites like Halo Mandarins for 99 cents, boneless center-cut half pork loin for $1.79 per pound, and Body Armor or Powerade sports drinks for 88 cents each. Shop super low Meijer prices while supplies last, and get the same prices in-store and online. Shop the Meijer Super Sale this Friday and Saturday only. Exclusions apply. See all deals in-store and in the Meijer app.
Join us for gambling things, fantasy sports, gambling things, and most importantly, gambling things. Hollywood Casinos on the Money, Sunday morning at 9.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
The Fan.
Excuse me, waiter. There's a hair in my soup. A long purple hair.
I'm so sorry. I'll get the manager.
I'm the manager. How can I help?
Wait, weren't you the Plum Insurance mascot?
I gave it away, my long purple fur.
Something like that.
What if all insurance companies were like NJM and were known for putting their policyholders first, not gimmicks? Then all those insurance mascots would have to get real jobs.
I'll pass on dessert.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
Hi, I'm Joanna Williams, General Manager at Tansky Sawmill Toyota, and this month 0% financing is back by popular demand on the 2024 Toyota Tundra for 48 months. But hurry in before they're gone. Visit TanskySawmillToyota.com for details. And when you think Toyota, think Tansky with approved credit, tax title, and $250 doc fee not included. Offer ends August 30th.
Think Toyota. Think Tansky. Think Tansky.
When your job demands more than just hard work, trust Timberland Pro, the brand that defines superior comfort, performance, and durability. Built on a legacy of craftsmanship, Timberland Pro provides boots and apparel that stand up to the toughest challenges. Our products are as resilient as the skilled men and women who wear them. From the workshop to the job site, Timberland Pro is there with you every step of the way, blending innovation with time-tested quality. Discover why professionals choose Timberland Pro. Always do, never done. Visit timberlandpro.com or your local Timberland Pro dealer.
The greatest stories aren't found in books or films or folk songs. The stories that truly bring us together are found in ESPN Fantasy Football. Stories of late-round love and first-round heartbreak. Tales of Hail Marys and Monday Night Miracles. Chronicles of punishments. Oh, the punishments. Friends growing closer than ever through the power of humiliation. It's all here. And while the football might be fantasy, the stories, very real. Download the ESPN Fantasy app, sign up, and write the story of your season.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
It's going to be a cool morning out there. Clear skies with temperatures in the 40s and 50s. Will warm up to around 80 by the afternoon. Sunshine continuing throughout the day. Temperatures back into the 50s overnight with mid-80s expected for Friday as sunshine continues. Quiet weather into the weekend, but the heat returns. Temperatures pushing back into the 90s by Saturday. I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens with your latest forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Beamer has a very punchable face, so Bobby punches it. This is Morning Juice.
Hey, guess what? We're one day away from a Friday night, and that means high school football here in the great state of Ohio. The fan game of the week kicks off this Friday at 7 o'clock. You got Harvest Prep at Pick Central, and after the game, it's the Byers Dublin Subaru Overtime with Ryan Baker and Lee Cochran. High school football back right here on the Fan for what's going to be another great season.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sharky?
Yes, Beamsy.
Feels like a Friday today. Happy Thursday.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It does.
For some, for others, no, it feels like a Tuesday. Tom Brady says you are doing a disservice to rookie quarterbacks if you start them from day one. Well, NFL coaches aren't listening to Tommy. The first overall pick, Caleb Williams, will start for the Bears. The second pick, Jaden Daniels, going to start for the Commanders. And yesterday we learned that the 12th overall pick, Bo Nix, will start game one for the Broncos. Now, Nix did play about 17 years of college football.
Yeah, he's 26.
So he is 24 years old now. And I guess it's no surprise, Beamer, because the only guys he had to beat out were Jarrett Stidham and Zach Wilson.
Can you name a couple of rookie starters that were older than him at the time of their first starts?
One of them played for the Cleveland Browns.
That is
where
correct.
are we at?
Yep, Brandon Weeden is the second oldest starting rookie of all time at 28.
For Carolina?
Yep.
Who played at Florida State?
Yep.
What's his name? Winky.
Yeah, you got it. You got it, Bob.
And I would also say probably
brain erosion is real, Shark.
Probably,
you know it because you think Cade McNamara just went to Iowa.
I did too.
Bob, quit patting yourself on the back. You got one right.
I'm going to hurt my shoulder. I'm patting so hard.
Did Roger Staubach
Yeah, you got third.
Because he had to go serve in the Navy for a couple years.
He got third. He was 27.
I thought he was just part of the Village People, Shark.
if you guys can get these other two,
Wait, okay,
you
there's
deserve.
more?
There is one who played in the 50s.
Oh, my gosh.
Come on.
And then there is one that played in the 2010s who's still playing.
Graham?
That wasn't Otto Graham. It was Ray Nagel.
Okay, Ray Nagel.
You wouldn't know Ray.
So there's one from the 2010s that's
One
still
from the
playing?
2010s that is still playing. Now, I don't know exactly where he is at nowadays. Don't look at my computer screen.
I'm not. I'm trying to figure this out. Like, who is someone who transferred a lot or who was old? It's probably had to be a baseball player. Gosh, is there anyone else, Shark, that played baseball that came back?
Michigan quarterback.
No.
Played? No.
Nope.
What conference would he have been from? Do you know?
At what time? Or what conference are they in now?
Well, yeah. Well, how about the conference at the time?
Conference at the time would have been the Big 12.
It's Texas or Oklahoma.
Not necessarily.
Well, I guess, yeah. I guess they could have went
Colorado, Utah. No, Utah wasn't in the Big 12.
Well, you got one of the states correct. It's a Texas A&M Aggie.
An Aggie.
Yeah, it's this guy's. It's so tricky.
It's a quarterback?
And he has started a lot of games. A lot of games.
Is it Wait.
Lost his job last year.
I was gonna say it's what's the name in Tennessee.
Yeah, you got it. Ryan Tannehill.
Tannehill.
Yeah, you got it.
Why was he so old coming out of college?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I think he was just there for 6 years.
But those are the list of the five. Those are the list of the five guys who are older than Bo Nix to start. They're excited about him in Denver. I get it. I mean, you got a rookie quarterback. You spent a lot of draft capital. Sean Payton talking about, we floated out the idea that we're taking so-and-so in the draft, but really our eyes were on Bo Nix. He's looked good in the preseason. He's looked good. It's a whole different ballgame. I think the Broncos, I know we've done this the last couple of days. I think the Broncos will be a little bit better than what people expected. I think their over-under win total is like 5.5.
Ooh.
Sean Payton, I don't think he will win the 5 games. I think I would take the over on their win total for this year.
What did they win last year?
That's a great question. I know that they started off awfully. Like they were really bad to start, and then they kind of kicked it into gear at the end of last season. Let's see. 2023 Denver Broncos. They had the Rustler, Sharky. They were 8 wins for the Broncos last year.
Wow.
Yeah, 8 wins for the Broncos.
Yeah, Tannehill just played 5 years in college, Shark. He just must have been like Schlags and graduated at 19.
From high school, yeah. If you're a player in the NFL and you are betting on games, you're an idiot. God gave you a brain, use it.
Exactly. Have your friends bet on games for you.
Right. There were 10.
Get a VPN so they can't track your IP.
There were 10 gambling suspensions in a 3-month span last year. It was actually last spring and summer.
One of them was a Buckeye.
None so far in the past year. The NFL is watching. Kathy Lanier is head of NFL security. She said among those monitoring gambling are retired FBI agents, executive-level police officers. Even Lanier herself is a former chief of police in Washington, D.C. Bobby, the group is monitoring betting markets before and even during games, looking for dramatic odds movement.
Yeah, I mean, players are meatballs, man. Like, if you think that they can't track it, my phone hears me talking about stuff on here and sends me algorithms.
My phone hears you talking about things and sends me algorithms for what you're talking about.
Exactly. So you think that they can't track where you're making your bets and if you're making bets on your phone? I mean, come on. Just have your friend do it. And send them texts from a burner phone.
Like Shohei, allegedly. And have your buddy make bets for you. Then you'd be all good. What are the biggest games of the college?
But they can't send the money directly from your account. That's
the bad part. Don't be the fall guy. Make sure that money clears through somebody else.
Go in there and I need to wire $3 million from my buddy's account.
That was crazy. What are the biggest games of the college football season, and how many are the Buckeyes involved in? We'll get into that coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning to all of you heading out the door. No crashes that we're watching. We are seeing busy traffic on 670 near downtown, also on 33 on the southeast side. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors, voted by Columbus homeowners as the leading and most trusted window brand. Find out why at PellaColumbus.com or at their brand new Polaris showroom.
There's a place where mishaps don't mean missing out. Welcome to AAA's The Plus Side, where a AAA Plus membership means that an empty gas tank won't keep you from a full day, where a flat tire doesn't have to deflate your mood, where being locked out doesn't mean you'll be out of luck for long, and where a dead battery can't stop you from being the life of the party.
Looks like you're all set here. Have a good rest of the day.
Because on the plus side, roadside mishaps don't have to ruin your day. With AAA Plus, you're covered with the gold standard in roadside assistance, whenever and wherever you need it. Tire changes, battery swaps, and emergency fuel are just a tap, click, or call away. AAA gets to you faster, and if you need a tow, we'll take you further, anywhere within 100 miles. Become a AAA Plus member today and experience the peace of mind that comes when you live on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply. Service is only available from AAA and CAA in North America.
And this summer with Zumbizi Bay, Central Ohio's largest water park. Take your last ride on Dolphin Dash before exciting new things come next season. Soak up the sunshine and dive into an unforgettable experience for the whole family. Zumbizi Bay offers nonstop fun for everyone. Enjoy $19.99 admission after 4 p.m. Get your tickets now and make your final splash at ZumbiziBay.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports.
Good morning. I'm Mark the Shark. The Blue Jackets have reached a 2-year, $4.5 million deal with restricted free agent center Cole Sillinger. He had a career-high 32 points in 77 games last season. Columbus Crew moving on to the League's Cup championship game. In last night's semifinal, the Crew beat Philadelphia 3-1 in Columbus. As Diego Rossi scored a pair of goals, the Crew now meets LAFC in the title match on Sunday. In baseball, Aaron Judge's power numbers are off the charts. The Yankee slugger has 6 home runs in his last 9 games, 12 in his last 23, 47 on the season. Last night in New York, Judge homered twice as the Yankees crushed the Guardians 8-1. In Toronto, the Blue Jays led 6-0 after 3 innings, but Cincinnati roared back with 11 straight runs and wound up winning 11-7. This Sports Center is sponsored by Roosters. They're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. We're talking tickets, sideline passes, a trip for 2 to Oregon, and more. Register today and every day at roosterswings.com.
If Bobby and Beamer aren't talking about it, it's not worth your time anyway. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hour number 2 of the program for us on a Thursday. Brandon Beam, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark coming up here, 7:35 this morning. Jackets insider Jeff Svoboda. Going to talk a little CBJ with him. 8:05, Albert Breer, MMQB. Saw he was down in Tampa yesterday with the Bucks. Don't know where he is at in the world right now. His training camp's coming to a close for the NFL. Getting ready to kick off here in a couple of weeks' time. What are we, 2 weeks away from the season opener, right? Yeah, it would be 2 weeks away because they kick off the weekend after college football does.
There you go.
Yeah, so 14 days away from the NFL season getting underway. Albert Breer, he's going to join us at the MMQB coming up at 8:05, 8:35. Our great friend of the podcast, Dotting the I's, Berm, will join us as we talk some Buckeyes as we are now single-digit days away from Buckeye football. 9 days' time, we will see Ohio State take on Akron, 3:30 over at the Horseshoe.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Reds come from behind against the Blue Jays last night in Toronto, 11-7. They got a 4-gamer starting tonight in Pittsburgh. Ellie De La Cruz making some history yesterday. He is the 5th player in Major League Baseball history to join the 2060 club. 20 home runs, 60 stolen bases. All right, Shark, I just asked you some trivia question in the last segment. Can you name the other 4 players in the 2060 club?
2060, 20 homers, 60 RBIs.
Is that this year or all time?
All time.
All time, yeah.
Only been 6 guys do that?
Yes, 5. Only been 5. Ellie was the 5th to do it last time.
Ricky Henderson.
Pretty Ricky's got to be in
Barry
there.
Bonds.
He did it 3 times. Yeah. Ricky Henderson did it 3
Barry
times.
Bonds?
No, not Bonds.
Canseco?
Nope.
No.
You're thinking sluggers.
Yeah, but both those guys could run. Like, they're...
Canseco was 40-40, but he never would have gotten to 60 stolen bases. I'm going to say... Eric Davis.
Eric Davis, correct. Yeah. He did it in 1986. One did it very recently.
McCutcheon?
No. That was a good guess.
Acuna.
Ronald Acuna Jr. did it last year. And then there's one other player who has done it, and he did it twice.
How old?
Back in the 70s.
Back in the 70s.
Willie Mays never did that?
Mm-mm.
Joe Morgan.
Yes, you nailed it. So 3 out of the 5 are Cincinnati Reds. That's crazy. 3 out of the 5, and then Acuna did it, and then Ricky Henderson did it 3 times. So they come back from behind last night and beat the Jays. Joey Votto announced his retirement as well. Saw that on social media.
Oh, good. Who was he playing for?
He was playing for the Blue Jays in spring training, and I think it was a game at Dodger Stadium, Shark, and Joey Votto saw one pitch in the preseason. Hit a home run. And then that was
Long May Rain.
That was it for Joey Votto.
Yeah, he never made it to the major leagues this season. He was hurt most of the time, but he was at AAA. And
is there a surprise in that?
No, but I think he batted like a $140 at AAA.
He said, "I've had enough. I'm done. Calling it quits." What a player. He retired. Kind of figured. I mean, he was obviously on his way out when he left the Reds, and then officially calls it quits. Yesterday afternoon, he was in like a parking lot. I don't know where he was at, but he was just filming himself in a parking lot saying, "That's it. I'm done playing baseball."
You just think he walked out in like the 6th inning.
He got an Uber ride to the ballpark.
Well,
Uber driver
Davis
asks him, and he says, "Are you a player?" And he said, "No, I'm not." So he's done. Congrats on an unbelievable career.
It's a little bit like our boy from the Steelers, Antonio Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Similar situation. He walked out in his full clothes as I'm driving around.
A little bit different. Yeah, did he flip off the fans in center field too?
I hope so.
While he was doing it. Yanks destroy the Guards last night, Sharky. 8-1 final in that. 1 o'clock series finale coming up today in the Bronx. Last night, settled in to watch the Crew game. They got out to an early lead. Diego Rossi scoring his 5th goal in the competition, which was tied him for the lead, and then subsequently put in a 6th goal. So he nets a brace for you right before halftime. It's 2-1 heading into the break. I don't know, about 10, 12 minutes.
Is he going to get the Golden Boot, Beam?
He is going to get the Golden Boot. Yes, he is, Bob.
They have a Golden Boot for this?
They do have a Golden Boot for the tournament.
Shark. Soccer Bob.
Yeah, Soccer Bob, Baseball Bob, Football Bob, Cade McNamara Bob, all kinds of different Bobs this morning. So they will move on to Leagues Cup Final on Sunday at 7:15 at lower.com field. So they got that going for
championship.
Them. And
where does that banner go should they win, Beam?
It's a great question, Bob. I'm not exactly sure.
Does it go right beside the LA Lakers midseason
in-season tournament victory? Or the Cavs preseason tournament victory from last season.
Are we going to have a parade?
No, probably not. Probably not. Taylor Tolman on the broadcast last night was saying, he's like, I think this is harder to compete in than MLS Cup playoffs. I'm like, I don't know if I agree with that, but whatever. I'm not here to disagree. Anyways, at the start of this tournament, I'm like, I don't care one iota about this. And then when it comes Sunday when they take on LAFC again, that's a rematch from MLS Cup Final. I mean, I will be screaming at the TV. I'll just be screaming at the TV. So that's a 7:15 start for them. And LAFC again and a Cup Final, again, rematch from MLS Cup Final, which you got last year. Winner of this, why is it significant? Remember the Champions Cup that we were playing in last year, Bob, with the teams scattered around North America?
When we got the diseases in Mexico.
Yep, correct. Had a little food poisoning. Winner of this tournament gets an auto qualification into the round of 16.
Maybe they brought that back and gave it to the O-line.
Well, they could have.
So if we win this, we automatically start in the round of 16 next year?
Automatically start into the round of 16.
So we only have to win 4 games to get it done?
Yes. It's a home and away thing, but yes. Technically, you have to win 4 stages.
What is it, 50 mil? What do they get if you win that thing?
Yeah, like 50 mil.
50 mil?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is nice. That's a good little spot then for you.
Yeah, so you got the Leagues Cup Final coming up again, 7:15 over at lower.com field. Bengals and Colts tonight at 8 o'clock.
How much money do they get for winning this?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not exactly sure.
Let's find that out, Beam.
I'll do some research.
Bone and Beam United today. Break that down.
We will. We're recording the podcast today because we are professionals and said, why record it on Wednesday when the Crew are playing Wednesday night? Let's record it on Thursday morning. You're going to have to wait a little bit for the Brownies on Saturday evening. Browns at the Seahawks Saturday, 10 o'clock on the Fan. Good news for you, Shark, is that Deshaun Watson is limited in practice with some shoulder pain. So you got that going for you, which is good.
We had Joe Flacco last year as one of the candidates for comeback player of the he won comeback player of the year. This year it's going to be Jameis. Your comeback player.
Who starts more games for the Browns this year, Jameis or Deshaun?
Beam, you threw out a fan poll a week ago.
I was joking when I said
and
it,
I think we should use it. Maybe we'll use it tomorrow. Who starts more games in the NFL this year, Deshaun, Jameis, Justin, or Russ?
Yeah.
That's a great poll. I mean, Deshaun would be the kind of the obvious choice, but that guy, I don't know.
I don't think it's like a long odds for any of the other ones.
I don't either. That's what I mean. I'm sure that you were super happy to hear from Kevin Stefanski this morning when you were cutting up his press conference. Here's why Deshaun went out of practice early yesterday.
I'd say general arm soreness, but again, he practiced. I held him back. He could have gone. He's feeling fine.
Okay. All right. It's a preseason game. Doesn't mean anything. All right. That's fine. But at the same time, we've had some injury issues while being under the $240 million contract.
That's all right. You said we sent him to get a massage.
We're good. I'm going to get that thing.
General soreness, Shark.
Jackets news yesterday. Cole Sillinger, the last one who you were looking at for a contract extension, got the deal done, Bob. 2 years, 2.25 annual average annual value, AAV, whatever, 2.25 million. So they got that going for him, which is good. So that's about it for the Jackets contract situations, Bob, before camp. So we'll check in with Jackets insider Jeff Svoboda.
What about all the money they have to spend now?
They do have a lot to spend.
They picked up about $9 million.
Gonna go get someone in the middle of the season, maybe?
We'll see. Make that big push.
Checking with Jackets insider Jeff Svoboda coming up here at 7:35, about 25 minutes away from right now. I was reading this from Pete Nakos, who does a great job for On3, covering kind of NIL stuff, Bob, but also just the game of college football. So college football starts this weekend in Dublin. We get Florida State. We get Georgia Tech. That's going to be a noon game coming up here. He put together a list of what he is looking at as the most watched games of the 2024 college football season. He looked at last year's data and this year's schedule and predicting the 10 most watched college football games of this year. Number one, I don't think this is a surprise to anybody. It is either the first or second highest rated game each and every year. That would be
the game.
The game. Correct, Bob. You are right about that. Last year's game on Fox brought in 19.07 million people, almost to the 20 number. This year, I would imagine, is going to be no different. At number two, last year rematch of the SEC championship game, which drew 17.5 million people. That would be Georgia and Alabama when they get together here in the season. Now, this is fascinating to me because I think this could be a catapult and jumping point for both programs. Texas obviously having a huge year last year, right? One drive away from getting to a college football playoff national championship. They were knocking on the doorstep right at the end against Washington. Couldn't score the touchdown at the end. This would be Texas at Michigan, which happens September 7th. That is week 2. I mean, that's a week 2 game, and that could be a catapult point for both programs.
So if Michigan wins that game, they're legit. I think the Big Ten gets 4 teams in at that point.
Okay.
Because Texas, you have to think, that's one of your teams. You think Michigan's probably going to be around 4th or 3rd. I mean, Texas, people are putting in the top 3 in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So you win that game, I think that does a lot for the conference, and that would do a lot for Sharon Moore and Michigan. And I think they would be much better than I would expect. So we'll see. I'm going to monitor that game very closely.
Yeah, I like how, too, that, I mean, that's a week 2 game, too. So both teams get a little primer. By the way, Michigan starts with Fresno State. It's not an easy game. That's not an easy game for them to go out with. And then they get Texas at home. So that's a week 2 game. Excited about that one. That comes in at number 3 on this list. Number 4, Ohio State and Oregon. We've all been looking forward to that game for a long time, right? I mean, we know that was just announced. It was reported as a 7:30 kick, primetime slot, NBC. I don't know exactly what the number on that is going to be, Bob, but it will be huge, that Ohio State-Oregon game.
That's probably, I would say, in the scope of football, people are looking at that as one of the most important games of the year.
Coming in at number 5, a week 1 game for you, which will happen next weekend. Notre Dame, Texas A&M.
That's another big game. If A&M wins, and they're favored by 3, it's at College Station. I think everybody's looking at Notre Dame shooing them into the playoffs this year. You look at their schedule. Outside of the A&M game, Florida State game, USC to wrap up the season, it's very manageable. And should they win this game, they win one more, I think you get 11-1 Notre Dame with a victory over Florida State or USC.
Sure in.
I think you're probably looking at a team with a 5-8 that's getting a home game.
Absolutely. And so Riley Leonard as well, first appearance too. A lot of intrigue around him coming over from Duke. Oklahoma and Texas, Bob, at number 6, Red River. Red River's always great, right? I mean, we love that. It's going to be interesting, not really from a scope of a Big 12 anymore because both teams join the SEC, but what is that going to look like for the first time as an SEC opponent? So Texas and Oklahoma coming in at number 6. Texas A&M at number 7, Bob. LSU, USC at number 8. Again, fascinating. What's Lincoln Riley up to as you get into an adventure in the Big 10? Can your defense hold? Right? I mean,
been through a lot of adventures together, Bean.
Yeah, well, they have. So LSU, USC coming in at number 8. Miami at Florida at number 9. That, I don't know what to make of the Hurricanes, and I certainly don't think very highly of Florida.
Florida's bad.
Yeah, bad.
If they get smoked in this game, that's going to be really bad. That doesn't mean that Miami's back. It just means that Florida's as bad as we thought they were. We are who we thought they were, Beam. Their over-under is 4.5.
Terrible. That's absolutely terrible.
I mean, you don't put everything into the betting markets, but they know more than you think.
Colorado at Nebraska coming in at number 10. It's a
big game for the Big Ten.
Yes, it is.
You want Nebraska to be good. If they win that game,
who's more back, Miami or Nebraska?
Well, you got to find out more about Miami. But if Nebraska wins that game, there's a good chance they'll be undefeated coming into Ohio State, big noon. That'd be a huge game.
What are we expecting out of the Ohio State tight ends room this season? and a new look offense under Chip Kelly. We're going to get into that coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, no crashes to tell you about. We are watching things pick up on 33 in Canal Winchester and on I-71 as you come into downtown. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
One thing about us parents, we think we know what's in, but we're usually way off. That's why I take my kids to Great Clips for back-to-school haircuts. From fresh fades to beachy waves, they can use the online lookbook to find the cuts they want at prices I can't resist. Plus, with convenient online check-in, we save tons of time, too. I may never know what's cool again, but hey, with back-to-school haircuts at Great Clips, I don't have to. Download the app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here from Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric. We save our customers tons of money and frustration by simply inspecting their sewer, water, and drain lines with our high-tech cameras before there's a problem. Check us out at CarpenterColumbus.com. That's CarpenterColumbus.com.
Bob's Discount Furniture is coming to Polaris, and Bob's Discount Furniture wants you to win big this football season. It's easy. Get online and go to 971thefan.com to register to win a $1,000 gift card to Bob's Discount Furniture, so you can watch your favorite football team sitting in your new Bob's recliner or couch this season. Wow. That's $1,000 from Bob's Discount Furniture. All you have to do is register to win on the fans contest page at 971thefan.com. Hurry, contest ends Wednesday, August 28th. See complete contest details online at 971thefan.com.
Meet animals from around the world as you explore the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium. Whether you're fascinated by the towering elephant or playful sea lions, we have it all at the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium. Visit columbuszoo.org to plan your visit today.
At Kroger Pharmacy, CARE is making it easy to get vaccinated. CARE is helping you stay protected from flu, COVID, and RSV. Seasonal vaccines are available 7 days a week with evening hours. CARE is giving you a shot at staying healthy this season. Walk in whenever is best and get multiple vaccines in one visit at your local Kroger pharmacy. So come and get the protection you need while protecting those around you. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Visit Kroger.com/vaccines for more. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See site for details.
Here at The Fan, we give you 14 hours of live and local programming every day. We care about you. We live and work in your community, except Bo Bishop. He won't tell us where the hell he is. Your live and local station, except Bo. The Fan.
Direct auto insurance is for uncompromisers. Like Matt. When his old car insurance got so expensive, do you think he walked until his sneakers wore out? No, because he found savings with Direct Auto so he could drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com or a store near you. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam over here from my great friends over at Wendy's. And Wendy's new saucy nugs, well, they're here. That means the best nugs in the entire game are now even better. You can choose between Wendy's iconic crispy or spicy nugs covered in bold, flavorful sauces, including buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, and even spicy ghost pepper. Eat them with a fork, eat them with your hands, eat them for lunch, eat them after midnight. There's no wrong answer. For a whole new way to nug, it's got to be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later. At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary by location.
If a friend asks how you're doing, and you say,
I'm okay.
When the truth is,
I don't want my problems to burden anyone.
Or you say,
hang it in there.
Because
if I ask for help, they'll just think I'm weak.
Then this is your sign to call, text, or chat 988 for free, confidential support. Anytime. You don't have to hide how you feel.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Scott Damaro.
Throughout my 3-decade-long career in public education, this time of year has always been one of my favorites. The start of every new school year brings so much promise and potential, and the opportunity to once again inspire a new generation of leaders to dream big and reach their potential. That's why public education matters.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're looking at a cool morning out there. 40s and 50s will warm back up into the low 80s by this afternoon as sunshine continues across the region. Temperatures tonight dropping down into the mid-50s, mostly clear. Friday will be back up into the mid-80s out there as temperatures continue to rise this weekend. Highs back into the 90s by the Saturday and Sunday afternoon. That's your latest forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Miss a minute of the show?
Check out the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Type in Morning Juice and subscribe.
This is Morning Juice.
Here's Long here. The Thursday edition of the program. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Coming up here, 15 minutes time, 7:35. Jackets Insider Jeff Svoboda. He's going to join the program. We'll talk all things CBJ with him. Patrick Laine trade. He is now gone. Cole Sillinger contract yesterday. 2-year extension, 2.25 AAV for him. So really kind of the last of the offseason contract negotiations done for the Jackets. So we'll talk all things Jackets with him. What are you expecting this year, Bob, out of the tight ends room? Because I know that they had media availability a couple of nights ago. Now, you do have G. Scott Jr., who came in, right, highly touted wide receiver, moved to tight end a long time ago. I feel like he's a pretty old veteran now.
Yeah, he's been here, I think, 5 years, Beamer.
Yeah, he's a veteran in that room now. And then you get Will Kazmarek from Ohio University, and then Jelani Thurman, who I feel like he's got great upside. And if you listen to kind of the coaches talk about it, it's like he's still working through some things we're still developing. The Jelani Thurman kind of third wheel there. In that
Jelani Thurman's the most talented of all of them. I mean, and any one of them will tell you that. He can do it all. He's big. He's strong. Like, it's been a process. He was a basketball guy. I mean, his mom played the WNBA, so it's been a process to get him for just consistency and to realize his potential. And I think he's pointed in the right direction. Schleggs is a guy to ask about that because Schleggs was a guy that had to transfer his juice into him every single day.
Yeah,
and just push in smash it, to quote Schleggs, smash his face off in a positive manner.
Correct.
And to make sure, like, we're getting the most out of you. Like, you can be better. And so then G. Scott has been that veteran who's been there a long time, like, has looked good, worked hard at blocking, worked hard to put on weight, then all of those things. And then they bring Bill Kazmar's son, Will Kazmarek, who looks like, I mean, he could be Bill Kazmarek. I mean, he's 260, big, strong. I mean, I thought Will Howard was him when Will came in.
Really?
That's how beefy Will was. But Kazmarek's good. He can run pretty well. He's not, like, no one's going to confuse him for, Jelani Thurman running routes. But he's very physical. He runs well. I mean, he's a monster blocker. And so they're going to have this little 3-pack of dudes. I think they're going to try to work in, have some packages for each one. And there'll be some crossover. But G kind of can do everything. Jelani's a little bit of a receiver right now. And Kazmarek is mostly the blocker. And so I think they'll go some 12 personnel where you have 2 tight ends on the field. Ryan did a decent amount of that last year. And I told the challenge for G. Scott is to pick up where Cade left off. Because Cade was a dude. Cade was a dude last year.
High precedent.
It was. And for a guy that hadn't played tight end until he got to Ohio State, and it was like his 3rd year.
And you're picking up after that, after Jamie Rucker, too, who set a pretty high standard.
And Ruck did a good job.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where they're at. I mean, you got those 3 guys, and they're trying to work and develop them, and they've all got strengths. They all have things they need to work on, and so they're trying to navigate this little road together, Beam.
Here was G. Scott Jr. at media availability the other day, talking about the same thing that you were, Bob, kind of echoing that sentiment about Jelani Thurman, talking about how he can be great. He just needs to get there.
God's given him, so many great abilities. I'd say ultimately the ball is in his court to take full advantage of that and ultimately bring the best out of himself. I think that's one of our missions as a culture, is to fight to be the best versions of ourselves. So I think if he continues to do that, he's going to be excited about where he's at.
We talk about being a leader on this team, Bobby, and all of these different kinds of things, and the sayings, iron sharpens irons, and the standard is the standard. And when you're talking about a young guy in Jelani Thurman, it's trying to break through to him that listen, man, you've got all these talents, you've got all the intangibles. It is on you to get yourself into the position to be able to literally extract the best out of yourself.
That's the thing. He has it. You've got to get it. And that's part of, that's Keenan Bailey's job. That's the strength coach's job. That's the rest of the room's job, is to make it ultra competitive so that he's out there grinding. And believe me, he'll flash, do some great things, block really well, run routes really well, go catch a great ball. And then there were some times where maybe it wasn't quite to that standard. It's like consistency piece, going out there and competing every day, realizing how good you can be. Because that's part of it in life, man. Realizing how good you can be and getting there every day. Once you show people something, now they know what you are.
Yeah.
Then you've got to go do it each and every day. That's the thing. Like once you reveal it, they're going to expect you to do it each and every day.
It's in there.
So that's the big deal. And so now that they've seen that, like they're holding him to it and they're trying to drive him up there.
How about G. Scott and the confidence he has in Will Howard?
I trust that he's going to do his job. I feel like he knows his reads, that he's going to go through his reads and he's going to get the ball to who he's supposed to get it to, predicated on the play and the coverage that we're going against. And he's done amazing things on the field this even going back to spring, he had a great summer. And then to see the kind of player that he's really grown into even this camp has been great. And so I have just trust and faith that he's going to put the ball exactly where it needs to be. All it's my job is to go finish the play.
How about his chemistry with Will?
He's grown to be one of my, really, really good buddies. I'd say one thing with him, he does a really, really good job of, the ability to turn it off and turn it back on. I think when we're off the field and we're having fun, he's one of my closest friends. But then when we're on the field, he's locked in and he's ready to roll and he's able to take the lead of the offense.
We're not talking this year. I feel like with so many weapons, Bob, and Chip Kelly coming in, like being a run-first offense, we're not really talking about like tight end setting records this year as far as receiving goes. But, I mean, they will be integral to the success of this offense here on like the blocking side of things and what they're able to do.
It's not just the blocking. I mean, they'll get them out in play action. They're going to do some different things with them. It's the fact that having guys that are versatile like that and having multiple tight ends you can play does stuff for you formationally and personnel-wise. And they were able to do that last year. They're going to do more of it this year, where you can get those guys out there and it creates matchup problems. And defensively, a lot of people don't see two tight ends on the field. And so when you do that, Beam, it's like, well, how do you align to it? What do you do? A lot of teams don't like to blitz 12 personnel. For inside baseball here, 12 personnel. The first number is the running back. Second number is tight ends. Third number, the wide receivers are implied. It all has to equal 5. So that's one running back, 2 tights, 2 wide receivers. And teams don't like to blitz that. Teams hate putting in blitz packages because a tight end complicates things dramatically because you can flex them out as a wide receiver. You can put them both on the same side. You can have them split. You can move one in the backfield. And so in doing that, it gives you a lot of variabilities and variations. So you have to have all of these checks all the time. And that's what, Coach, we tried to put this one blitz when I was in Dallas. And we will never run it against 12. Week later, we're going to put this in against 12. Okay.
What changed?
They're like, all right, well, if there's 2 tight ends, they're like this, we'll call it here. But if they're like this, we'll call it here. If they motion, we're going to have to check over. But if it's not, and then they jump the back, they have 1, then we're going to go off the back.
You know what we're going to do?
I'm like, hold on.
We're going to fake to the left. No. We're going to fake to the right.
That's basically what it was.
We're going to fake the fake. We're going to think to fake.
And I go, okay.
I don't know where I'm at. The room is shrinking.
They're like, if we have 1 tight end in the back, 1 in the core, like attached, and the other one's flex, like then we'll call it the strength to the back. And I'm like, well, what if the back jumps and like they flip him to the other side? Like that's a short motion. You can't reload it all. Like, and you take a deep breath, and I'm like, yes. I'm like, okay. I mean, it's like they like look. I'm like, we didn't think about that in the meeting. No one thought about this. Like, am I the first? Because I'm the one that's got to make the check in there.
Bobby, why didn't you change the call of the field?
You're gonna be yelling at me like, because. And that, I would blitz, set it, and I was like rushing off the side to the back in that scenario. And if he came to my side, if he flared, I had a man. And
it's very different.
If he goes to the other side, I can't get there, man. I go, so you want me to give a peel call to Marcus? No, we went to Marcus in the rush. I'm like, but if he's at the home position, he can flare and peel. I'm like, yeah, but, and I'm like, that takes longer because he's in the center, and it's not in the gun and whatever. I'm like, oh my gosh. But they don't like 12 personnel because there's so many things there of what you can do. So Yes. Like, what if they motion a tight end across?
What do I do here?
It's just, it's literally you turn into Winkler and fake. No, we think about faking. This
is the water I've been drinking.
It really is. It's crazy, Beaver.
Jackets insider Jeff Svoboda. He's going to join us. We'll recap the Patrick Laine trade and offseason news with the Jackets with him next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. No problems to tell you about right now. We are watching things pick up on 670 near downtown. Also still busy on 33 coming in from Canal Winchester. I'm 10 TV's Amy Segerwald with your Fan traffic.
Bobby Carpenter was determined to get relief for his dad, Rob. Years of college and pro football had taken a toll on Rob's joints. Bobby trusted his dad's care to QC Kinetics and their game-changing regenerative pain treatments.
It's been great to watch him improve. This stuff wasn't available 20 years ago, and how we've been able to kind of hone in and be able to fix the body in a more natural way as opposed to just cutting on it all the time. It's pretty terrific.
QC Kinetics. They take your body's own healing properties, concentrate them, and apply to areas in pain like knees, shoulders, hips, and back. And the results?
He's like, well, it doesn't hurt to go down the stairs anymore. I'm like, well, that's a positive.
Relief. Without any joint replacements, harmful steroids, or medications. The natural way at QC Kinetics. Don't wait. Call to see if you're a good candidate. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. Again, 380-208-4544. Get rid of your joint pain with QC Kinetics.
That's the sound of sweat falling drip by miserable drip. But don't sweat that broken AC. The Waterworks Heating and Cooling Team has same-day service. Call the Waterworks at 614-333-9720 or schedule service on our website.
Nothing makes being outdoors better than having the right gear and the right crew. So here's an idea. Let Mountain Dew supply the gear and you bring the friends. Because when you buy specially marked multi-packs of Mountain Dew, you can collect points and earn epic limited edition outdoor gear. We're talking everything from custom Mountain Dew camp chairs and backpack coolers to exclusive Mountain Dew tents, fishing boats, and more. So buy Dew, collect points, get gear, and get outside with Mountain Dew outdoor gear.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+, subject to program terms at dewoutdoors.com and 12/31/24, void or prohibited.
When there's a United Dairy Farmers nearby, special savings are too. Stop by while energy drinks are buy two, get one free. Monster, Celsius, Red Bull, and more for less. Only with UDrive Plus at UDF.
The Buckeye Show.
Like, what will do if he's going to be my guy? I think he's for sure going to be the starter. I'm looking for 30 touchdowns. I'm needing to see single-digit interceptions.
The Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by CareSource.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
Hey, Buckeye fans. Ready for the chance to win one of 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences? As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. We're talking tickets, sideline passes, a trip for two to the Oregon game, and exclusive access to the Ryan Day Coaches Show. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 winners. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Hi, I'm Joanna Williams, General Manager at Tansky Sawmill Toyota, and this month 0% financing is back by popular demand on the 2024 Toyota Tundra for 48 months. But hurry in before they're gone. Visit TanskySawmillToyota.com for details. And when you think Toyota, think Tansky with approved credit, tax title, and $250 doc fee not included. Offer ends August 30th.
Think Toyota. Think Tansky. Think Tansky.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Joe Fallon's bedroom mini fridge. Sure, this pint-sized chiller's max capacity is 3 soda cans, but what it lacks in stature, it makes up in cooling strength. Each beverage a perfect 37 degrees every time. And the 2 feet Joe walks to get a drink, priceless. That's why his mini fridge is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
Panic and passion. Is that a motivational quote or the title of an adult romance novel? You're listening to Morning Juice.
Well, Thursday edition of the program. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Right now, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline, checking with our fantastic friend. He is Jackets Insider, Jeff Svoboda. Jeff, thanks for the time, buddy. Always appreciate it. How's the offseason going for you so far? Sorry you were at a Guards game a couple of nights ago. Now they're in New York now. What have you been up to?
Well, I must admit, I had a milestone birthday last week. I turned 40, so I enjoyed.
You're a man now.
That's an excellent point. I am a man now. So I went to the Guards game, went down to Cincinnati for some tennis, took some time off, and then, of course, we come back this week, and it's gotten busy in Jackets land, so we're not that far, about a month away from the start of training camp. So it feels as though hockey is starting to maybe be in the air a little bit.
Absolutely it does.
Ooh, in the air in the night. It's like a Phil Collins song over here.
Exactly.
Who
was drowning? Was that was that our little Finnish buddy going to Montreal?
So yeah, well, he is gone to Montreal. Yeah, so a big move there. Was not something I necessarily expected coming in to Monday, but the Jackets got that little bit of business done, and then got a re-signing of Cole Sillinger this week. So it's been for a week in late August, it has been a pretty busy week in Hockeyland.
Yeah, so Jeff, you had mentioned it last week was a nice off week, and it seemed like the Line A deal was kind of like dead in the water. Reports were coming out that there was no movement. He had met with Dean Evison and still wanted to be on the table, that he wanted out of Columbus. Just when it came down, and I feel like it happened in a flurry on Monday, that this trade was proposed, then it was accepted for Montreal, then they announced it. It was pretty quick the way that this went down. Just your thoughts when that came down and what this kind of signaled for the franchise.
Yeah, it was pretty clear that I think both sides were interested in a fresh start. Patrick Laine had some great moments in a Blue Jackets jersey. Had some stretches where he played some really good hockey, had some of the most productive hockey of his career here, and it kind of flew under the radar because the team was struggling to get wins for stretches of those times. But he also had a lot happen to him off the ice. The injuries were something that he just couldn't seem to stay healthy at times here. He had some strife in his personal life, and I think he just got to the point where it felt as though it was time for a new start. And I think the Jackets, with the new general manager and someone coming in who wanted to abet that, because it just felt like, I think for both sides, it was time to go a different direction. And so Laine goes to Montreal. The Jackets don't have to retain any salary on him, which was a big part of the deal, why they were able to make that deal with the Canadiens. And then Jordan Harris, who seems to be a great guy and someone who can help in on the defensive end, comes in to replace him. So, I know it's probably, if you're looking at it from the outside, trading someone with the talent of Patrick Laine in a way that it was traded may not make some sense, but the key thing for the Blue Jackets was not to retain any salary. They want to have the flexibility to be able to add to this lineup and not have to worry about keeping that, whatever it be, $4 million or whatever it is there. They just wanted to have this thing done, rip off the Band-Aid, be able to move on and give both sides a fresh start, and that's what they were able to do.
So that $8 to $9 million that's going to be saved, would that be allocated this year? Free agency has already been moving on. Is that going to go into re-signings? What's the plan, Jeff, with that?
That is a great question, and we've heard Don Waddell, the new general manager and president of hockey operations, say, this is something that could give the Jackets the ability to potentially, be a trade broker. There's some teams that have to get under the salary cap as we get closer to the season. I remember a couple years ago, the Hurricanes that he was the general manager of at the time took on Patrick Marleau's contract when he was unable to stay in Toronto because they were over the cap, and Toronto ended up giving the Canes a first-round pick for that deal, and that first-round pick became Seth Jarvis, who was someone who is one of the key players down in Carolina at this point. So Don Waddell was shown in his career he's not afraid to get creative from a salary cap standpoint and maybe make some moves there to, whether it be find a player, find a draft pick to be able to take some cap room on for some teams that are strapped. And so, it also gives you flexibility going forward. The cap is going up finally after coming out of COVID. You've signed a fair number of players right now, some of these young guys, but you've still got contracts that need to be figured out going into the future. You've got some guys that are going to be UFAs this year at the end of the season. You've got the free agent class next year. So it really gives you a chance to figure out what you have right now, and then flexibility once Don Waddell's been here for a year to really make some decisions and maybe be aggressive on the market.
He is Jackets insider Jeff Svoboda with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Jeff, I mean, just going back to Patrik Laine here for a little bit of time, any reason in particular to you, the impetus that he wanted out of Columbus?
You know, have not had a chance to talk to him personally. I would guess it's just, you know, it was a tough time here. And you know, not to get too deep into his personal life, but these are all things that were out there public. You know, he unfortunately had the situation his father passing away when he was playing for the Jackets a couple years ago, and that was someone who was very important, not to just his personal life, but his hockey career. You know, we've seen the issue. He's talked very obviously and openly about mental health here, and that was what cost him the last couple months of last season. And I think it just was kind of a vibe of a fresh start from his perspective. You know, you know, Patrick's an interesting character. You know, there had been some talk here about the locker room, and you know, I always enjoyed being around Patrik Laine, but he's a bit of a different cat. He's very Finnish, and if you spent some time around Finns, and we were lucky enough to go over there and play a game a couple years ago, you know, very dry humor, very understated people, and yeah, I think sometimes that you had to kind of get to know Patrik a little bit to really kind of understand where he was coming from, because he was never afraid to really be honest with you and not sugarcoat things. And so I think that it was just one of those situations. I have said the word fresh start probably 5 times here, but I think that really, I think both sides were really just interested in getting to that. He had a lot of things happen here. He was looking to go somewhere else and see if he could, you know, the things could be different. And I think the Blue Jackets were pretty willing to make that happen. So that's why we end up where we are today.
I mean, it seemed like he was almost a villain out of like the next Die Hard movie that we were going to see. I mean, is that, you know, the dry humor? So tell us what we're getting, you know, in return. Obviously, get defenseman back on the blue line. Last year, defense wasn't exactly the strong suit of this team, which you felt like that had been the case for a number of years, both in net and on the blue line. Is this a re-emergence of the emphasis being placed on the back end?
Yeah, it's going to be something they have to get figured out, because the last 3 or 4 seasons, they've just given up way too many goals. There's no way around it. They tried changing the personnel a year ago, bringing in some veteran defensemen. It really didn't make a huge difference. You know, I don't know in and of himself if Jordan Harris, who comes in from Montreal on the Laine trade, is going to make that big of a difference, just because he's one guy, and he's, you know, talked about as the second or third pair defenseman who's played about 15 minutes a game in his career. But he's a young guy. He has the ability to continue to get better. I mean, he was probably a pretty average defenseman a season ago, looking at some of the analytical numbers, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. And he comes in, he's going to be able to give you some good minutes. Had the chance to talk to him the other day. Brings a lot of personality to the table. Seems like a really good guy, just from the early returns and hearing from some people in Montreal who covered him over the last couple of years, that he's going to be someone fans are really going to like, which is definitely a positive as well. But, you know, this is going to have to come, as far as defensive improvement goes, from a whole team commitment and a coaching staff. And I think that's something that Dean Evison is going to really focus on, because you can't win hockey games giving up the amount of goals the Blue Jackets did the last couple of seasons. And so structure, accountability, and a whole team committed to keeping the puck out of the net is something that I think is going to be something you're going to hear a lot of when this training camp starts next month, because, as I said, that's got to get better. And that's something that when Dean Evison was in Minnesota, there were stretches where they were one of the best defensive teams in the league. And it's, you know, so it's going to have to come from the top, and it's going to have to be something that they're going to preach going forward.
Hey, Jeff, quickly before we get you out of here, Sillinger signed a contract yesterday, 2 years, $2.25 AAV. With that contract signing, do you feel like the Jackets got basically every contract that they wanted to get signed in the offseason done, wrapping that up?
Yep, I think everything's pretty much the major orders of business on the table are done. Say now they maybe have the ability to add a player, add a pick, because of, you know, if teams are in a cap situation. But I think by and large they feel pretty good that this is the team they want. They want to evaluate what they have. You know, first year with Waddell, he said it a few times. He wants to really get to know these guys, and then make some decisions based off of that. So I think they feel pretty good about where they are right now.
Jeff, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here this morning. Congratulations, you're a man. You're 40. Happy belated birthday, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
Yes. What is the official gift for the Gundy birthday? Is it like chewing tobacco or something? I don't know.
I think it's something like that. See you, buddy. Have a great day.
All right, thanks, guys.
There he goes, Jackets Insider, Jeff Svoboda, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We're going to get Juice next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, no crashes on the map to tell you about. We are watching things pick up on I-71 near downtown and on 33 in Plain City. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Pop quiz. What's the best way to go back to school? With Giant Eagle and Market District, of course. From lunchbox favorites to fun after-school snacks, shop deals for school days and save on thousands of items throughout the store. Visit your local Giant Eagle or Market District today.
Does our waiter look familiar?
I think he was the Plum Insurance mascot.
If all insurance companies were like NJM and didn't use gimmicks, then their mascots would have to get real jobs.
That explains the long purple hair in my soup.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you need a new roof but you're not sure you can afford it, no problem. Right now, Able Roof is offering no payments, no interest until 2026 for qualified buyers. Yep, that's the same Able Roof that's been voted the #1 roofing company in Columbus by Consumer Choice Awards 22 years in a row. Want more? Able Roof will give you up to $1,000 off a new roof, siding, or windows. This is a limited time offer, so call Able Roof today.
Call Able for the proof. 444 Roof.
Hi, this is Justin Hinderer. Come see us at John Hinderer Ford in Washington Courthouse for the best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles in Fayette County. We're all in on America and proud to be your Ford AgPack dealer. Don't forget to ask about our convenience and mobile service at the home of the lifetime powertrain guarantee, including engine, transmission, rear differential, and drive shaft on all qualifying vehicles. John Hinderer Ford, just off 62 at Washington Courthouse, or hindererford.net. We love what moves you.
Driving plays a big part in driving the local economy. It helps us all get where we're going and creates good jobs close to home. At Synovus Energy, our refineries in Toledo and Lima are a reliable domestic source of gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. Plus, more than 2,300 employees and contractors work for us here in Ohio. See how we're helping local communities move forward at Synovus.com.
Football season is here, and we have so much stuff. One station isn't enough. Find even more pigskin on ESPN Columbus.
Set your second preset to AM 1460 or 97.1 FM HD2, or listen on the Fan app.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Right now at the Ram, make this the summer event. Well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab, 4x4 for $549 a month for 42 months, with $3,640 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra, no security deposit required. Call 1-877-RAM-5722 for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial. Extra charge for miles over 35,000. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by September 3rd, 2024.
You've got to watch your NFL team every Sunday, and Verizon's got you covered for all your team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon. Come on! From kickoff to sign-off, from first downs and touchdowns to turnovers and overturned plays.
After review, the pass was incomplete.
Nice! Let's go! This season, win every Sunday with Verizon. Get a great deal on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV and a new phone. Excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted car. Call 1-800-294-0222. You'll receive the maximum tax deduction, and we provide fast, free pickup. Call 1-800-294-0222. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Call 1-800-294-0222. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
It's going to be a cool morning out there. Clear skies with temperatures in the 40s and 50s. Will warm up to around 80 by the afternoon. Sunshine continuing throughout the day. Temperatures back into the 50s overnight with mid-80s expected for Friday as sunshine continues. Quiet weather into the weekend, but the heat returns. Temperatures pushing back into the 90s by Saturday. I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens of your latest forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Beam has a baby face. Bobby has soft hands. That should not stop you from listening to this show. This is Morning Juice.
We here on The Juice, brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Healthy, leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can, of course, visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Shark?
Yes, sir.
Let's hear from Schlegel, shall we?
After I graduated doing 7 years of college and only walked away with an undergraduate and 2 minors, the spring game...
A lot of people go to college for 7 years. Schlegel.
Yeah, doctors.
And Ryan Tannehill, which we learned earlier.
Yes, Bo Nix. Dwayne Charles Parcells.
Mm-hmm.
We know him as Bill. He is 83 today.
How do you get Bill out of that?
Do you know how he got the nickname Bill?
I
read a bio on him. No. There was another kid in the neighborhood that looked like him that was named Bill, so people just started calling him Bill.
That's great.
Anyway,
that's serious.
It was 60 years ago that he began his coaching career at Hastings College when he was linebackers coach at the age of 28. A year later, became linebackers coach at his alma mater, Wichita State, then went to Army and Florida State and Vanderbilt and Texas Tech. Head coach at Air Force for 1 year, 1978. Then it was off to the NFL as an assistant with the Patriots and Giants. His poor wife, he made 9 moves in 18 years. And then in 1983, at the age of 41, he got the head coaching job with the Giants. Anyway, as I was...
You missed 1 year. He took 1 year off, I believe.
He did in between Air Force and the NFL. Yeah.
He sold insurance. He goes, Bob, Carp, I've done this my whole life. I go, you sold insurance for a year. And he looked at me. I was like, I read your bio, man. Like, Dad played for you. You think I was going to have any stone unturned?
As I was cutting up some highlights for this date in history this morning, I found where he was mic'd up, and I could have had a 15-minute sound bite.
Oh, it's so good.
But this is a minute 21. We played it at about 10 after 6 this morning, but I thought it was worth repeating. Bill Parcells mic'd up.
What's the matter, Big Easy? Is camp getting hard for you? Take those old records off the shelf, and I'll listen to them by myself. Today's music ain't got no soul. I like that old-time rock and roll. You know, I had this one kid, Lawrence Taylor. Now, every linebacker in the league thinks they're worth $900,000. Fred Young, Chip Banks, Pickett, just name them. There's a list of them. I got a guy that's a 350 hitter for 8 years. Guys hit a 350 one time, they want the... It's awful. I tell you, he's a stone face, that Barbero now. You know what the hell he's thinking. I'd hate to have to fight that son of a gun. Don't worry about doing everything perfect now. Just get out there and run like hell and catch it, all right? You know what I mean? Like a street game. If you get your feelings hurt, that's too bad.
My mother, God bless her, may she rest in peace, was volatile. Let me tell you what I'm scared of. I'm scared of spiders, snakes, and the IRS.
I hate drills, walkthroughs. That's all we have now. We used to come out, practice football. Now we're having team meetings on the field. If we didn't have a script, we couldn't coach. I didn't know what a script was about the first 5 years in coaching. We got a crisis every 15 minutes. Matt Barr's got a little flu. Tell him to throw up on his own time. We got a game today. Throw up after the game.
So that had me juiced, Bob.
I could tell you stories about Bills for years between my dad, me. I mean, just... He told Jason Witten to have a baby on his own time as well. The irony was that it was our off day that was scheduled. He changed it the day before, so it was supposed to be our off day. And Witten just bit his tongue. I'm like, dude, this was supposed to be off. But he was one of a kind. Turning 83 today. I'm trying to tell my dad to give him a call. He's getting older. And he was a quote machine, man. But he found a way to connect with everybody and get the best out of his players. One of the great guys I enjoyed listening to. And thank you for putting that together for me, Shark, through this morning. And playing that one more time for the folks out there. Because, honestly, we can save Arthur Brooks for tomorrow. That had me juiced. Getting a chance to listen to that guy, listen to him in his final season in Dallas. Spiders, snakes, and the IRS, that came from 1990.
Terrifying things.
The following line said, not the Redskins. He's talking about Joe Gibbs, and I watched that 1990 Giants highlight video probably 500 times growing up. Wore that VHS out. It's the year they won the Super Bowl. That was the first Super Bowl I remember watching. So very impactful in my life, and getting a chance to play for that man was it wasn't always pleasant at the time, but it was a pleasure to get to do it. So that has me juiced. Beam, what's got you juiced, sir?
You know, I saw that Sister Jean, speaking of birthdays, from Loyola, Chicago, turned 105 yesterday. And I saw somebody quote a tweet and said, in Sister Jean's life, she has only been alive one time that the Chicago White Sox have won a playoff series outside of a World Series. I'm like, wait a minute, that cannot be true. She's been alive for 105 years.
Yeah,
that would put her at
the Black Sox scandal.
That would put her at 1919.
Yeah, but the Black Sox was 17, Shark?
So
no, it was 18.
Yeah.
No, it was 19.
It was 19.
But they lost. Lost the Reds.
So they lost the 1990, and so I did some digging. I'm like, that can't be true. They'd have to win one playoff series in there. And so they lost the World Series in 1919 when she was born. They then missed the playoffs from 1920 all the way to 1959, in which they lost the World Series.
Back then, it was just ALNL.
Yes, exactly. So there were no playoffs as we know it today. And then from all the way to 1960 to 1983, they got in. They were in the ALCS. They lost the ALCS in 1983. They lost the ALCS in 1993. They lost the divisional round in 2000. 2005, of course, they won the World Series. So on the trot to get there, they won the divisional series, they won the championship series, and then they won the World Series. They lost the divisional series in 2008. They lost the wild card series in 20, and they lost the divisional series in 2021. There's a 105-year-old woman walking around Chicago that has only seen one season, which outside of a World Series, you have won one playoff series.
I'll do you one better, Beam.
That's insane.
She's lived in a city with 2 Major League Baseball teams and has only seen 2 World Series in 105 years.
You're right.
But you know what?
There was 110 chances, and she's only been around for one of them.
No, there were more than that because you have to multiply them. There's 200. There's 210.
That's what I mean. 210 chances, and she's only seen 2 of them.
But you know what, Beam? She did see the Bears win a lot of NFL championships.
You got
only
that
one
right.
Super Bowl, but a lot of championships.
Watching Red Grange back in the day.
She said in her press conference yesterday, the Bears are back. Albert Breer of the MMQB. He joins us to talk all things NFL next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. No crashes to tell you about. Things moving along with no issues. We are watching things get busy on 23 on the north side of town and on 33 in Canal Winchester. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Pain from arthritis is just awful. Constant pain. It robs you of so much of the stuff you love to do. But there are effective ways to deal with that pain. My dad and I can both tell you we were able to get relief without medication or surgery. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Listen, there are exciting new cellular therapies that can get you lasting relief. The place to go, QC Kinetics, right here in Columbus, Ohio. Dr. Ray Tesner and his team at QC Kinetics utilize cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. Learn how QC Kinetics can use advanced regenerative medicine to treat the pain, enhance your joints, and restore your mobility. Surgery and pain pills, they're not the only option. My dad and I went there. We feel so much better. He's able to move around and walk like he wants to. I'm able to go out and run and do the things that I enjoy. So here's the great thing. Give them a call at 380-208-4544. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus. They have 3 offices in Dublin, Gahanna, and Grove City.
Drive in this summer in a new Honda. Act now during Honda's summer event to save thousands with low 1.9% financing. Full inventory is here. Cars, SUVs, trucks, vans, and hybrids. With hybrids, the battery charges as you drive. Don't miss Honda's summer event with big savings on gas or hybrid, like the 2024 Honda Ridgeline, now with low 1.9% financing. Search your local Honda dealer. See dealer for financing details. For well-qualified buyers. Offer ends 9/3/24.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When your job demands more than just hard work, trust Timberland Pro, the brand that defines superior comfort, performance, and durability. Built on a legacy of craftsmanship, Timberland Pro provides boots and apparel that stand up to the toughest challenges. Our products are as resilient as the skilled men and women who wear them. From the workshop to the job site, Timberland Pro is there with you every step of the way, blending innovation with time-tested quality. Discover why professionals choose Timberland Pro. Always do, never done. Visit timberlandpro.com or your local Timberland Pro dealer.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Mark the Shark. Diego Rossi scored 2 goals. Cucho Hernandez won as the Crew beat the Philadelphia Union 3-1 in the League's Cup semifinals at Lower.com Field. Columbus now hosts LAFC in the tournament's title game on Sunday. Don't pencil in Deshaun Watson yet as the starting quarterback for the Browns preseason finale Saturday in Seattle. Yesterday, he left practice early due to what Coach Kevin Stefanski called arm soreness. The Bengals are 0-2 in the preseason and wrap up the exhibition season tonight with a home game against the Bears. In baseball, Ellie De La Cruz became the 5th all-time member of the 2060 Club. 20 home runs, 60 stolen bases in the same season. In the Reds' 11-7 win at Toronto, De La Cruz hit his 22nd home run and picked up stolen base number 60. At Yankee Stadium, Aaron Judge homered twice, and Juan Soto had a homer and 5 RBIs as New York crushed Cleveland 8-1. The Sports Center is sponsored by Whiskey War by High Bank Distillery. Drink local, drink High Bank.
A radio show hosted by 2 former football players, one slightly more successful than the other. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hour number 3 of the program for us on a Thursday. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark coming up here momentarily. Hoping to be joined by Albert Breer of the MMQB. He's going to join us. We'll talk all things NFL. Then coming up here at 8:35, Burb, he's going to join the program. We will talk some Buckeyes with him.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Albert's busy this morning. 6 minutes ago. Source: Browns are trading kicker Cade York to the Commies for a conditional 7th rounder. An early deal as trade market heats up with the cutdown looming. Albert on the ball here this morning. All kinds of good things from him.
Getting it rolling, Beam.
Yeah, for sure, man. Got that going. So we'll reach out to him. I know he's got busy stuff, man. We got NFL training camps. He's all over the place here with stuff going on. Baseball last night, Reds beat the Toronto Blue Jays, coming from 6-0 down 11-7. They're at the Pirates for a 4-gamer starting tonight. Ellie De La Cruz, 5th player in Major League Baseball history to join the 2060 Club. 20 home runs, 60 stolen bases in an entire calendar season. And the last one to do it was Ronald Acuna, who actually did it last year. Before that, Bob, was Ricky Henderson. He did it 3 times. Then you have Eric Davis of the Reds, also Joe Morgan of the Reds. So 3 out of your 5 who have ever done that in history have come from the Cincinnati Reds, but they get things done. Also, Joey Votto announced his retirement yesterday. Great, obviously, Hall of Fame career for Joey Votto. So he announces his retirement. Yanks destroy the Guards last night, 8-1, 1 o'clock today. Start for them. Crew take down Philadelphia 3-1 here in League's Cup. Now they will play in the League's Cup final coming up here on Sunday, 7:15 against LAFC. So a rematch from MLS Cup. Diego Rossi, 2 goals. He's now the Golden Boot leader in that, Bob. He's got 6 total in this tournament. Cucho putting one in like the 56th, 57th minute or somewhere about that. But again, winner gets auto qualification to the round of 16 in Champions Cup. So a nice 3-1 victory by the Crew last last night. Another Cup final coming here to Columbus. As we head out now to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline, check with our great friend of the MMQB. He is Albert Breer. Albert, I saw you working the phones here this morning. Got some trade news to share with us.
Yeah. So the Browns traded one of their kickers, which they had a surplus with Dustin Hopkins there. And, it's interesting, guys. Like, obviously this is like a time of year when a lot of this happens. I saw more teams that had kicker problems this summer than I thought I would, So this might not be the last of those. And, obviously these can be pivotal as the season goes on for contending teams. Not that Washington's there yet, but, there are other teams. The Lions are one where, you could certainly see some movement at that position.
Anything new with the Brandon Ayuk developments in San Francisco?
No, I think, Bobby, we just kind of are where we are right now, and my guess would be that my guess would still be that he winds up staying with the Niners. I think I've kind of taken you guys through this before, but this is really the Niners wanting to keep him, the Niners being a little annoyed with the way that he's handled the last few weeks of this, and wanting to get closure on it one way or the other. And this was, a way to get closure and saying, look, like if you think the grass is really greener on the other side, go find money in football situation that's better for you out there. And New England gave him better money, but the football situation isn't nearly as good. Cleveland, I think, gave him a good offer, but he wasn't wild about going there. Pittsburgh, there was a little bit of a rapport with Mike Tomlin that helped. The football situation is pretty good there, but the money wasn't much different than San Francisco, and that drove him back to the table. I think at this point it comes down to whether or not the Niners and Ayuk can settle the personal kind of friction that took place over the last few weeks. But I think the likelihood is he stays there and probably stays there in a long-term deal.
Albert, we got a lot of stuff going on, of course, across the league. 2 weeks until opening kickoff on Thursday Night Football. So, we're 14 days away from that as the league gets going here underway. I did see that Sean Payton announced that Bo Nix is going to be the starting quarterback. That's 3 by our count so far. I know you have a handle pretty well what's going on in the Pats. I don't know if Drake May is going to start out of the gates for them. You got Caleb Williams with the Bears. You have Jaden Daniels with the Washington Commanders. Now Bo Nix. Is there what's the prevailing thought around the league of starting quarterbacks in their rookie season against sitting them?
Well, I think the 3 guys who are starting are very ready. And I think Brock Purdy is a really good example of what makes a guy ready. It's reps in college. It's the guys who've played the most, who've seen the most, who've experienced the most are usually the most ready to go when they get to the pros. And, Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels both were multi-year starters at multiple major conference schools. Both started over 5 years. Daniels had 55 starts. Nix had 61 starts. Those guys are ready to go, and they should be ready to go based on everything they've seen and how much they played in college. And I think both of them will be pretty good players right away. Caleb started a lot of games, too. Now, he's obviously considerably younger than the other 2. He's only a 3-year guy where the other guys are 5-year guys. But the Bears have done a lot to ramp him up. They started installing with him before the draft. They were doing it in the pre-draft meetings with him, believe it or not, and putting in terminology and cadence and formations and all that different stuff. So he had a mind for him when he got there. The other thing is the Bears have the best football situation. In fact, I'd say they do have the best football situation, maybe by a sizable margin of the 3 starting rookie quarterbacks, So, Keenan Allen and DJ Moore and Rome Odunze and Darnell Wright on the offensive line and how much they've invested into that group and DeAndre Swift behind him. I think the Bears have created a scenario where he doesn't have to be Superman for them to win, which is, usually the ideal sort of spot to put a young quarterback in.
So it looked like Jerry Jones, Albert hinted about, in some comments, because he's talking all the time, that there's not going to be a deal with Dak done.
He said a lot of things.
What?
I said, as you know, Bobby, he says a lot of things.
Oh, absolutely. And, there's been contradictions all over the place. He's like a walking paradox at this point. But if they don't get a deal done with him before the season, I mean, I know he's an owner that does do deals during the season, but it feels like if you don't get it done during the season, what's the incentive for Dak to get it done? And is there a way that he does not hit free agency next year?
I mean, I think there's a chance they get this done right at the buzzer, like right before the season. And we've seen that over the last 2 years with guys getting deals done right before the season begins. You know, Burrow and Nick Bosa last year. T.J. Watt, I think it was 2 years before that, got done, I think it was a Saturday before the opener, right? Like, so it's pretty common that the deals get done right before the season because that's when the real injury risk begins for players, you know? And, I mean, Bobby, you were a player, you know this. Like, I think the way most players approach it is every game that you take on of extra injury risk, the less willing you are to do a deal with your existing team because that risk is basically transferring from the player onto the team, you know? And so, you know, I think once you get the season started and Dak can look at the end and look at the finish line and say, if I get here, there might be $60 million a year for me. And if he keeps playing well, you know, obviously his leverage increases. I think there'd be less and less motivation for him to do a deal. So I think there's a chance they get a deal done before the season begins, but I don't think Dak's going to take a discount at this point. And obviously, I think, again, like the more injury risk he takes on as the season goes on, the less likely he would be to be reasonable with the Cowboys on what he's willing to take.
He is Albert Breer, the MMQB, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Albert, I feel like since we've been talking in the offseason, since Justin Fields was traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we knew that they were going to go into camp with him and Russell Wilson, like we kind of didn't know what to expect. There was thoughts that Justin would push Russ like all the way down to the line. Maybe Justin starts more games. Maybe Russell does. At this point in time, Albert, I mean, I know that you were so connected there. I have no idea what to expect out of Pittsburgh and who they're going to trot out week number one. Like none, zero.
Well, I think part of the problem is the offense hasn't been very good in general, you know, and they've got some moving parts in the offensive line, and they've invested in young players. You know, they drafted Troy Patano in the first round this year. Last year, they drafted Broderick Jones in the first round. They're going to have a rookie starting at center and Zach Frazier. They telegraphed, you know, the receiver issue for you by trying to trade for Brandon Ayuk. So it's been messy, and the reason why Arthur Smith is playing his offensive guys deep into these preseason games because you'd rather work this stuff out now than do it in September. And so there's that, which clouds the picture. And then there's Russell Wilson's injury, which has clouded the picture. And Russell's been wildly inconsistent during camp and when they have seen him, but they haven't got a chance to get a full view of him because he has been dealing with the calf injury. And so he's been out at points. He's been limited at others. So I'm interested to talk to some people there after this week because this was shaping up as a very critical week in that Russell was going to be able to go without restriction for the first time. I think they sort of feel like they have a stronger handle on what they have in Justin now, his ability to extend plays, his ability to contribute in the quarterback run game. Some of the issues from Chicago remain, how fast he sees the field and all of that. But I think they feel like they can come up with a formula with Justin Fields. And now, you know, it's going to be on Russ now to show that he can be what they thought he was going to be when they signed him. And that's what this week is about. And you know, again, I think it's a critical week for Russell Wilson to try and take that job back.
So, if you were to handicap this on the starter for the Pittsburgh Steelers, how would you make it?
I still think, Bobby, it'll probably be Russell, and I'm just saying that on the premise that I think it's easier for you to go a month into the season and switch from Russell to Justin than the other way around. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I think if you bench Russell now, like I think you ask, do you have to even carry him on the roster, right? Because he's just never been a backup. You know, so I think, like, if he can show enough this week, like, you know, over the last couple of years, Mike Tomlin has shown he's not afraid to switch quarterbacks in midseason. And I just think, like, the premise for me would be, they could never say this publicly, right? But the premise for me would be, what's the easier switch? If they're relatively even, what's the easier switch? And I just think it would be much easier for them to go from Russ to Justin if things don't look good than the other way around a month or two from now.
Albert, before we get you out of here, you planning on any Buckeye games here this year? I know you got a busy schedule.
Yeah, I got a bunch of buddies who got a house for Michigan State game. I'm still working through that and whether I'm going to be able to do that. And I'm certainly going to be at the big one in November. But I'll tell you what, like that team looks really, 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 really good. I don't know how anybody's going to score on the defense the first month and a half of the season. And I say that not wood and everything else, but I mean, Bobby, what I've heard about the size and speed and length and their ability to cover ground, it sounds like it's got a chance to be a really special group.
It does. I'm excited to see it. So hopefully come late November, we'll be seeing some good stuff out of both sides of the ball as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, fingers crossed on Will Howard, too. So hopefully that part of it works out well.
AB, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on here with us this morning. Enjoy the rest of the week, and we'll check in again soon, okay?
All right, thanks, guys.
There he goes, Albert Breer, MMQB, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We're going to duel next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey, Darren, good morning. Right now, 2 crashes we have on the map. I-70 westbound just beyond that Kelton Miller Avenue exit. The left shoulder slightly blocked off in traffic, just a little bit delayed. Also on 315 southbound, right at the 670 split, the right lane slightly blocked off in those southbound lanes. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Did you and your family lose Ohio Medicaid and need health coverage? Check this out. You may be eligible to enroll in a low-cost health plan at healthcare.gov. With the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov offers quality plans that cover doctor visits, prescriptions, emergency care, and more. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Bob's Discount Furniture is coming to Polaris, and Bob's Discount Furniture wants you to win big this football season. It's easy. Get online and go to 971thefan.com to register to win a $1,000 gift card to Bob's Discount Furniture, so you can watch your favorite football team sitting in your new Bob's recliner or couch this season. Wow! That's $1,000 from Bob's Discount Furniture. All you have to do is register to win on the fans contest page at 971thefan.com. Hurry, contest ends Wednesday, August 28th. See complete contest details online at 971thefan.com.
Bobby Carpenter's dad and retired pro football player Rob Carpenter was tired of dealing with knee pain, but finally found relief without surgery at QC Kinetics.
Yeah, this was nothing really like a surgery. I mean, it was not painful, and the results were good. And, you know, I'm walking out the door and walking pain-free, so it was a good experience.
Dr. Tessner and the medical professionals at QC Kinetics treat patients like Rob using regenerative medicine that helps heal and restore damaged joints with no downtime.
I wasn't really exercising much, and I gained weight because of that. So the upside of it obviously is I'm able to exercise without any pain or stiffness in the knee, and it's got my cardiovascular system back into shape, and I feel a lot better. And again, lost the weight. So what more can you ask for?
Call QC Kinetics for your complimentary consultation in Dublin or Gahanna. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. Or go to qckinetics.com/Columbus.
Attention weekend warriors. Fan Sports Saturday has moved to 10 a.m. Join Eric Reeser and Tyvis Powell as they dive into popular topics like the Buckeyes and Tyvis's liquid diet.
Saturdays from 10 to 1.
The Fan.
When there's a United Dairy Farmers nearby, fan favorites are too. Score a set of 6 Cincinnati Reds player cups for $19.99. Ellie, Green, India, Steer, Diaz, and McLean cups only at UDF while supplies last.
This is the White Castle Call of the Crave, and it's telling you to come in now for 10 cheese sliders for just $7.99. 10 cheese sliders for just $7.99. Boom! White Castle. Follow your crave. Limited time only, tax not included.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. The people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No. But she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
If a friend asks how you're doing, and you say,
I'm okay.
when the truth is,
I don't want my problems to burden anyone.
Or you say,
hang it in there.
Because
if I ask for help, they'll just think I'm weak.
Then this is your sign to call, text, or chat 988 for free, confidential support. Anytime. You don't have to hide how you feel.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're looking at a cool morning out there. 40s and 50s will warm back up into the low 80s by this afternoon as sunshine continues across the region. Temperatures tonight dropping down into the mid-50s, mostly clear. Friday will be back up into the mid-80s out there as temperatures continue to rise this weekend. Highs back into the 90s by the Saturday and Sunday afternoon. That's your latest forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Heading to work? Keep listening to the guys at the office.
Stream the show at 971thefan.com or download the Fan app.
This is Morning Juice.
Well, you've heard us talk about it a lot. That'd be FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, folks. Well, we got something a little bit different for you right now through September 22nd. That is 1 month away from right now. NFL season gets going 14 days away from now, 2 weeks away. All FanDuel customers, not just new FanDuel customers, you can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. I've got it. It's terrific. It's great, Bob. You do the Octo Box, which you're watching 8 games at one time. I only have one screen going, so I can only get the quad box. They did make some adjustments, too. You can log in your fantasy players and keep an eye on them in the games. You can yeah, I mean, all kinds of different crazy things that you can get into. It's the best. Meredith said the other day, she goes, it's the best money you spent last year. She goes straight up.
It's good.
So all you do is
can
just
watch the Bears and she can watch other games.
You can I just sit on my keister all day and watch on Sundays.
Good.
I'm basically useless.
Absolutely. So it's great. So you mentioned you have the YouTube TV base plan, but watch every regular season game out of market. All you need is your Google account, current form of payment, cancel anytime. Just visit FanDuel.com/juice to download America's #1 sportsbook. Must be 21 older in Preston, Ohio. Full price of NFL Sunday Ticket will be automatically charged after free trial. No refunds, terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Morning Juice presents Duel at Dawn.
Sponsored by FanDuel, the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice.
All right, Bob, you weren't here last week, so Austin Ward and I dueled. I took the over. I took 13 teams will score 30 points or more in the NFL preseason last week. I don't think I won that one, Shark.
No, 0 teams scored 13 or 30, but Austin said 1, so he won that one. However, how many teams will be shut out in week 2 of the preseason? Beamer said 1, Austin 2. It was 0, so Beamer won that one. What place will Victor Hovland finish in the St. Jude Championship? Austin said 52nd. Beamer said 16th. It was 2nd.
Yep.
Where will the Reds stand in the National League Central standings come Monday? Beamer said 3rd. Austin said 2nd. It was 4th. So Beamer wins that one. And Beamer won the week 5-3 to pick up victory number 35. Now we move on to episode number 64. In the first 2 games of the Guardians-Yankees series, Aaron Judge and Juan Soto have combined for 5 home runs. In the series finale this afternoon, will either Judge or Soto hit a home run?
So you get them both?
Yeah.
I'm going to say neither.
Wow.
Tribe Penn, stay strong.
Gavin Williams pitching today, Shark?
You said they're pulling Cookie off the DL.
I'm going to say yes. I think one of those guys are on fire right now, yes.
All right, I hate...
The fire ends tonight, Beam.
Okay.
I hate having NFL preseason games on Duel at Dawn because it's all so random. You don't know a lot of the guys who are playing. You don't know if any of the starters are playing. But anyway, I will give you one preseason question. We have a Thursday night doubleheader this evening. The Bengals host the Colts on Prime Video. The Bears visit the Chiefs on NFL Network. Which game will see the most points scored? Bengals Colts, Bears Chiefs.
I'm going to say Bengals Colts.
I'll take the other one just to make it different. I have no clue. I don't think the Bears starters are playing. The Chiefs starters aren't playing. Bengals, I don't think, are starting their guys. So who knows?
Golf's BMW Championship begins today out at Castle Pines in Colorado. We're down to the top 50 golfers in the FedEx Cup standings. Those current standings show Scotty Scheffler in first place, followed by Xander Schauffele, Hideki Matsuyama, Colin Morikawa, and Rory McIlroy rounds out the top 5. So I'm going to give you either one of those 5 to win the BMW or the rest of the field.
It's an interesting place, Castle Pines. It's at altitude. They have never played a PGA Tour stop there before. Actually, assistant GM over at Muirfield when I was over there is now the GM over at Castle Pines. It looks awesome. It's out in the mountains. Looks really cool, Bob. You would like this. Got a lot of flora and fauna. Looks beautiful. They got some waterfalls and stuff. I'm going to take the field in this just because none of these golfers have seen the golf course before.
There's some big hitters in that group.
Big hitter, the Llama.
If you're talking about altitude, they'll be driving big. They'll receive total consciousness meeting. I'm going to say I'll take the 5.
Gunga Galunga.
Be getting really high out there in Colorado. The Guardians averaged 4.6 runs per game. The Reds averaged 4.4 for the Friday through Sunday games. Cincinnati's in Pittsburgh. Cleveland hosts Texas. Now, I know the Reds are in Pittsburgh tonight, but we're not counting that game, just Friday through Sunday.
Tribe time.
Who scores more runs in those
Tribe
3
time.
weekend games?
Tribe time. You going with Guards?
Go with the Guards.
I'll say the Guards as well, Sharky.
Well, that's no fun. All right, let's get a couple of college football games in here for week 0. According to our friends at FanDuel, 10th-ranked Florida State is a 10.5-point favorite to beat Georgia Tech. Will the Yellow Jackets, the rambling wreck from Georgia Tech, ever have a lead in this game?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say yes. Georgia Tech gets out to a barn-burning start. I think they score
3-0.
I think they score a field goal on their first possession, and they go up, and then from there on out, game over. I think this game could be close heading into halftime, too. I think it'll be a tightly contested affair. I think Florida State pulls away at the end. I'll say yes in Georgia Tech.
I'm going to say yes, too, because I think this game's going to be closer than what people think, and it wouldn't surprise me if Georgia Tech scored first.
Yeah, when you said the number at 10.5, I'm like, okay, that's not what the next number you're going to read off the sheet is going to be.
No, because we talked about the travel problems for Delaware State. It's not Delaware, not the Fighting Hens, the Joe Flacco Fighting Hens. This is the Delaware State Hornets.
What division
They couldn't get to Hawaii.
They're 1AA.
Are they?
We call that FCS, Bob. FCS.
Sorry.
Anyway, FanDuel has the Rainbows as a 39.5-point favorite against the spread. Are you taking Hawaii or Delaware State?
I'm going to take Hawaii. I'm going to lay the points.
I'm going to lay...
Are we sure that all of Delaware State's even going to be there for the game?
That's a really good question. I know they left in waves yesterday out of JFK after they had some massive issues of buses getting down from Delaware to New York. I have to lay the points and go with Hawaii. That's a lot for a week 0 game, but you are traveling literally all the way across the country and then halfway across the Pacific. And I think the Warriors will get it done. I'll lay the points.
Last night in the League's Cup semifinals, the Crew scored 3 goals in beating Philadelphia. LAFC scored 4 goals in shutting out the Colorado Rapids. Now on Sunday, Lower.com Field. It is the championship game. How many combined goals will Columbus and LAFC score?
I will say a combined goals. Let's just run it back straight from December when the Crew won 2-1. I think we get the same exact result. I will say 3.
You're going to say 3. I'll take the under on that.
2?
Yeah, I guess.
So Saucero or a 1-1, we go straight to penalties.
Well, we were not counting penalty kicks.
Well, no.
I understand that, but if it's tied 1-1, that'd be under.
Bobby would win.
I'll take the under.
All right, here's your tiebreaker. What will be the total attendance at Progressive Field for the 3-game series between the Guards and Rangers?
Freaking question is
So
this?
they average like 26 or something, 27.
I can't say.
Maybe a little high.
I'm not going to say.
I'm going to say, I think we get over that number. I'm going to say 82,000 for the weekend
I'll
series.
say 75,000. It's going to be hot.
Yeah, it's going to be hot, but it'll be nice. It's still baseball weather, Shark. Don't forget about that. We're still in the dog days of summer. Big series coming up here for the Gardos. Berm, he's going to join the program. We'll talk all things Buckeyes with him as we are now 9 days away from Ohio State kicking off the season against Akron. We'll check in with Berm next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we're watching two crashes that crews are working to clear up. The first one on I-70 westbound, just beyond that Kelton Miller Avenue exit. The left shoulder slightly blocked off, and traffic a little bit delayed over there. Also on 315 southbound, right at the 670 split, we've got the right lane slightly blocked off because of a crash. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Erectile dysfunction is a destroyer of your confidence, of your joy and intimacy, and often it can even harm your relationship. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, the leading men's sexual health practice in our area for treating erectile dysfunction. And I want you to know today that if you're like most men, you can be free of ED and all the impacts it has on your life. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're your local provider for dealing with men's sexual health issues. Our expert medical teams are focused on treating ED, and we have highly effective treatment plans with some protocols that work in well over 90% of cases. We can even combine treatments for greater efficacy, all of which means it's very likely you'll be having great sex again within just a day or two of your first appointment. You might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have two convenient locations, just off 270 in Hilliard and near the Medical Mile in Westerville.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. Back to school time. Your kids probably have fancy friends. Isn't it about time you gave them a ride to be proud of? Actually, hell with the kids. Treat yourself to a new Lexus. Right now, it's the Golden Opportunity Sales Event with rates as low as 2.99% on ES, NX, and RX, as well as great lease payments. I've been a Jermaine customer for years, even before I started doing the commercials. If you're in the market, please stop in. Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. JermaineLexus.com.
One thing about us parents, we think we know what's in, but we're usually way off. That's why I take my kids to Great Clips for back-to-school haircuts. From fresh fades to beachy waves, they can use the online lookbook to find the cuts they want at prices I can't resist. Plus, with convenient online check-in, we save tons of time, too. I may never know what's cool again, but hey, with back-to-school haircuts at Great Clips, I don't have to. Download the app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Did you know we have another station? More Buckeyes, more play-by-play, more everything.
Set your second preset to AM 1460 or 97.1 FM HD2 or listen on the Fan app.
Your home for almost too much football. The Fan.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for over 30,000 mouth-watering choices with savings beyond low prices, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. More savings and more inspiring flavors make Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
During our Fresh Tyson Chicken full line sale, mix and match select varieties and buy one, get one free with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
That's the sound of a Mountain Dew. And that's you enjoying its refreshing citrus kick. That's a cool breeze suddenly whistling through your hair.
Whoa!
That's you realizing you're now on a mountain.
This is epic!
That's you stating the obvious. That's you stepping up to the plate. That's you winning your kickball game.
Yes! Let's go!
That's you taking another sip of your
Mountain Dew.
Do the Dew.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free. with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit, hims.com/joy.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
Keep on swiping that card, baby. Keep on swiping that card. Charge it to winning. This is Morning Juice.
There's Long here. Little Thursday edition of the program. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark, as we now head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Checking with our good friend of the podcast, dotting the I's. He is Berm. Berm, are we feeling negative or positive today about the Buckeyes?
I'm always positive.
Well, that's good to hear. What are you positive about? What are we thinking 9 days away from the kickoff against Akron? Season's underway here, Berm.
Well, I mean, I don't know. How can you be negative? It's the best roster in college football in the last decade. Urban Meyer said so.
Well, I mean, I get that. But, I mean, I know there's some people that are negative on some of the recruiting things, Berm, which is where you really like to lean into. And I know you love to hang out and have powwows with internet trolls.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. It's the number one ranked recruiting class in the country. So, again, I'm not sure why people would prefer to be negative when there's obviously reasons to be positive. It's the top-ranked class in the country. Yes, there are issues or challenges that come with trying to recruit five-star offensive linemen because there's not many of them. The few of them that exist are rarely inside the Midwest, and so that exponentially raises the difficulty for Ohio State in recruiting them. But other than that, why would you be negative?
All right, Berm, can you take us kind of behind the scenes and what happened this weekend? Because, I mean, we were looking at David Sanders is the guy that we're talking about. He committed to Tennessee over the weekend. I think his commitment date was the 17th, right? So it just happened a few days ago. Depending on where you look, I mean, he's a five-star guy. He's top 5 prospect, unbelievably good, talented kid. Can you kind of take us behind the scenes as to what unveiled and how it came down to Ohio State, Tennessee at the end, and ultimately why he picked Tennessee?
Yeah, I mean, the Buckeyes were a team that he was interested in for quite some time. He visited for the first time in April of 2023 for the spring game, got to meet Paris Johnson and who's basically his hero and the guy that he modeled his game and basically, the guy he's really looked up to. Buckeyes thought that first visit went really well and expected to be in the race. And then he didn't visit again for another year, and nobody thought the Buckeyes had any chance because David Sanders and his family were regularly telling people that they wanted to stay closer to Charlotte. They wanted to be closer to home for college. And so, as he began to make a lot of visits elsewhere, it was Tennessee, Clemson, Georgia, South Carolina. Those teams started to get a lot of traction. Ohio State finally was able to get him back on campus again this past March 2024. Then they got him on campus again 3 weeks later at the end of April, beginning of May. And then they got him on campus again for his official visit in June. And so there was this idea that, hey, the worry about being away from home has been somewhat mitigated. We've shown all the opportunities that Ohio State has. The Buckeyes were making a very aggressive play with NIL to try to keep up with what Tennessee and the SEC was, putting out there. And at the end of the day, the decision came down to Ohio State or Tennessee. And when it was all said and done, the thing that mattered in the beginning, which was the wanting to stay somewhat closer to home, outweighed everything else. And so when the family believes that everything is equal, so the NIL opportunities were pretty much the same, or if maybe a little bit better with Tennessee because of some perks that are rumored to have been included, like a family home in Knoxville and stuff like that. When you throw all those things into one big pot, and then on the top of that pot is, well, it's still the closest one to home, that ultimately is the deal, and that's hard for Ohio State to overcome.
So where do they go from here, Berm? Where do we bolster this offensive line recruiting area? Is this something that you can handle in the following class? Is it something they can handle in this class? What happens from this?
Either way, I think Ohio State was going to be forced to look into the transfer portal to try and bring in a starting left tackle for next season. And I think what happens from here is that you still end up chasing some pretty good offensive linemen around the country in the prep ranks. Javon McFadden, who's a high 4-star interior lineman from Maryland. There's a lot of buzz right now for him in Ohio State, and I wouldn't be surprised if that one actually ends up being a done deal / a commitment for Ohio State within the next couple weeks. I think that they have a big enough lead there heading into the season to put that one to bed. They're really working hard on flipping Alabama commitment Micah DeBose, who's originally from Cleveland. He lives in Alabama now, but he got all of his family ties are still into Northeast Ohio, and the Buckeyes think that there's a shot there. So if you can close out with those two offensive linemen from high school, that's a pretty good class when you combine those two with Carter Lowe and Jake Cook from Ohio, and then you go out and you find the two best offensive tackles you can in the transfer portal. And maybe next year you have two transfers starting at tackle. But when you see what Ohio State's done with Josh Simmons, when you see the impact that Seth McLaughlin has made, I don't think that's a problem, to be honest. I think I'm of the mind that if you can have offensive linemen who've played 2 or 3 years of college football as opposed to true freshmen, I'd rather have the guys that played football. So I think that's the direction that they'll probably have to go. But the most important thing is making sure that the Javon McFadden recruitment gets wrapped up quickly, and then you just keep swinging for Micah DeBose, because they wouldn't be wasting their time building that relationship if they didn't think there was a chance.
He is Berm with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Berm, let me take Jeremiah Smith off of this plate. I feel like Buckeye fans know him. We're expecting him to be a breakout star here at Ohio State in his freshman year. For some of the freshmen coming in, and we always talk about these guys, who are the freshmen that can make an immediate impact here for Ohio State? Who should we familiarize ourselves with as Ohio State fans for some of these guys who just got in here, say, in the wintertime?
It's kind of a tough question in this specific instance because this team is so loaded with veteran depth. There is not really a need, even as good as Jeremiah Smith is, there isn't a need for him to be out there. It's just he happens to be not from this planet, so it's impossible to keep him off the field. I don't know that anyone else fits that mold. I do think that on offense we'll see a lot more of James Peoples and maybe even Sam Williams-Dixon than anyone would have thought when the two of those guys signed last year. But at running back, you'll see both of them play considerable snaps this year, I think. And then the other one to really watch on defense is Jalen McClain, because I think right now he's battling probably to be that fourth safety. And if the Buckeyes handle their business on the field on Saturdays, then you should see the depth play. Jalen McClain is certainly up there. And then I don't know that there's anyone else I'd really expect to see other than maybe Edric Houston from the real true freshman.
We put the snap count, I put it at 9.5 for not snap carries for Caleb Downs this year. Do you think he gets more or less than 9.5?
I hope it's less. He said.
I'm not asking about hopes, Berm. I'm asking about realities.
Reality, I think it would still be less. There's no, unless it's done with the express written purpose of winning the Heisman, I don't see the value in it for Ohio State. When you have James Peoples and Sam Williams-Dixon there, and Rashad Cisse also there at running back, I would think it's not necessary. But I know that it was part of the conversation when Caleb transferred to Ohio State, and I know it's something he wants to do. He said on Tuesday that he'd like to have the ball 10 times a game, which is a little bit more than I think anyone realistically should.
That would be the over, so...
Yeah, if Caleb has more carries this year than James Peoples, I will be pretty stunned.
Hey, before we get you out of here, we're 9 days away from kickoff against Akron. Last kind of bit of business that the Buckeyes need to attend to and you're looking at before they get the season kicked off is what?
I think really the last thing that they need to do is make sure that everyone's healthy, make sure the offensive line is locked in, and we get to talk to Justin Fry and the offensive lineman this evening at the Woody Hayes after practice. So I think maybe we'll get some clarity on who the starter at right guard is. I would expect it to be Tiger Svoboda at this point, but other than that, it's just get to that game against Akron and be healthy and start the domination.
Buddy, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here this morning. Have a great day. Enjoy the Woody tonight, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
There he goes, Berm, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We'll reveal our fan poll coming up next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. 2 crashes we're keeping an eye on. First, expect some lane closures on the ramp from 670 westbound to 315 northbound due to a crash. Crews are working to clear up. Also, still watching some slight delays on I-70 westbound as the left shoulder is blocked in those westbound lanes right near that Kelton Miller Avenue exit. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
It's the summer sell down at Performance. Get up to $16,000 off MSRP on new 24 Jeep Wranglers and Grand Cherokees during the Make This the Summer of Jeep event. Performance, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Georgesville, and Delaware.
Not valid on previous sales. Cannot combine offers. Must take delivery from dealer stock 8/20 to 8/31/24.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here for my friends at Affinity Whole Health. Affinity is the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy, but they are also much more than that. They help men and women who are experiencing things like low energy, low libido, muscle loss, and weight gain. Turn it all around. You can feel amazing and live better just like I can. It can be delivered right to your door, which is tremendous. Semaglutide for weight loss and testosterone and hormone replacement therapy for so much more. I've been a customer for years and it works. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Coming this Labor Day weekend, Bob's biggest challenge yet. It's time to dare to compare. It's got action. It's got suspense. It's got beeps and boops and dings and whomps and more savings than you'll believe on living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, mattresses, and more. And best of all, you get to play too this Labor Day weekend. Now open in Reynoldsburg and coming soon to Polaris. See how much you can save this Labor Day weekend when you dare to compare at a Bob's near you.
Hey, it's Bobby. When it comes to tackling a project as important as your roof, you want a company that cares about the product and experience they're going to deliver. At Newman Roofing, you're more than just a number. They believe in 100% customer satisfaction. And for your roofing needs, give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF or newmanroofing.com.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
At Pella, we use the newest technology to show you exactly how new windows would look on your home.
Well, we keep it simple at our window place. We use a number 2 pencil to draw what your house will look like with our new windows. See?
Oh yeah, that definitely looks like a number 2.
Thank you, Leslie. Wait. I see what you did there.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
It's time for Cleveland Browns preseason football, baby. Catch the Brownies and Seahawks live from Space Needle Town. They have a Tyvus Powell statue.
Live coverage starts Saturday night at 8.
Your home for Browns football. The Fan.
Hey folks, Bobby Carpenter here. If you're ready to tackle any adventure, check out these unbeatable offers from Germain Toyota. Get behind the wheel of a rugged Toyota Tundra with 0% financing for 60 months. Yeah, that's right, 0%. Or if you're looking for something a bit more compact but just as awesome, lease the all-new 2024 Toyota Tacoma for just $329 a month for 36 months. These deals are rolling out so fast, so don't wait. Visit Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net.
Wendy's new Saucy Nugs come in 7 saucy flavors. Yep, you can literally hear your taste buds going. Taste bud sounds may vary. For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary by location.
Delaware County Veterans Services invites you to visit the Wall That Heals from September 12th through the 15th at Havner Park in Liberty Township. Pay homage to those that have served in the Vietnam War. The Wall That Heals is free and open to the public. To learn more, please visit thewallthathealsohio.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you
you like free money? Download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
It's going to be a cool morning out there. Clear skies with temperatures in the 40s and 50s. Will warm up to around 80 by the afternoon. Sunshine continuing throughout the day. Temperatures back into the 50s overnight with mid-80s expected for Friday as sunshine continues. Quiet weather into the weekend, but the heat returns. Temperatures pushing back into the 90s by Saturday. I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens with your latest forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Here's a list of undisputed facts. Beamer is round, Shark was a swinger, and no one derails a show like Bobby Carpenter. No one. This is Morning Juice.
Wrap things up here. Thursday edition of the program. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark, and we here on the Juice, brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can, of course, visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com. Uncle Bo and the boys going to be up after we're done. Crew advancing into the Leagues Cup final. They'll chat about that. They will also check in with Paul Feinbaum. You listen to me. 10:33 coming up here a little bit later on. Which, like say, I'd absolutely destroy that cat.
Oh, yeah. Rage in the cage. Schlegs versus Paul.
So on the Joey Votto front, he retired last night, which is great. I mean, it was typical like Joey Votto fashion. He was in a parking lot. And he just 10-second video.
The fan poll today, is it now or never for Ryan Day?
I thought that was yesterday's fan poll.
No.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Yesterday's fan poll.
Well, it was something like that.
It was something, but it was phrased differently.
Semantics were different?
The semantics were different. How hot is it for Ryan? I forget what it was.
What is the hot seat pressure?
Go back and pull the. You can go look it up.
You can always listen to the podcast afterwards. Which team is the biggest threat to number one Georgia in the SEC? That's today's fan poll. We're just literally just reading ESPN headlines off there. I asked Sharky during the break if Joey Votto is a first ballot guy. As our baseball expert here on this fine program, Shark, you have watched more games in your lifetime than Bob and I and our families will ever watch combined.
That's sad.
I'm actually sad that it's even as close as it is.
Yeah, same. It should be further for you. Joey Votto, first ballot guy or not?
No.
Okay.
I don't think he'll make it on the first ballot. I believe Joey Votto is definitely a Hall of Famer. There are a lot of people out there that think it's borderline. I think he's
How many home runs does he have?
I'm going to say, are you going to search Beam?
I have it up.
I'm going to say 353.
356.
Whoa!
You were right on the nail.
I mean, that gets you in the Hall of Fame now?
Well, it's not just that, Bob.
His on-base percentage was...
Oh, the advanced metrics.
I don't know if that's an advanced on-base percentage. That's not like a WAR or a barrel or a...
What's a barrel?
Exit velocity.
Exit velo.
WAR plus.
Almost 1,150 RBIs.
Okay.
For Joey.
MVP. Won an MVP.
Yeah, and he should have won one in 2017, too.
Won a couple World Series.
Yep, we got that done for sure. Couple of times. Fall Classic.
That
was in my own brain, Shark.
Yeah.
That was... If Buster Posey wasn't alive and not playing for the Giants where he hit that grand slam, then maybe the Reds do win the World Series that year. And then they got no hit by someone pitching
Halladay.
Roy Halladay in the playoffs. That's right. I remember we were in football practice, Bob, and we got out of practice, and Coach Ranke, who was our offensive line coach, who had
blocking like a Russian love novel.
That scoop looks like something out of a Russian novel. That makes no sense. What you're saying.
What that means?
We were watching that series, and he's a big Reds fan, and it's like, oh, they got a no-hitter going, and we finished up practice, pretty early. He's like, Roy Halladay's got a no-hitter going through 2 innings, and then he just kept the no-hitter going. Yeah. Joey Votto, you want to take a guess at how many walks he earned during his career? Joey Votto walks because he was one of the toughest outs for
Oh, yeah.
His entire career.
Yeah, he was actually criticized for walking so much. They said he should.
Well, tell him to jog to the first base.
He's so patient. Beam, he played, 17 years?
Yep, he had 2,000 games he appeared in.
I'm going to say he walked 1,342 times.
I'm going to say 1,100.
He walked 1,365.
Wow.
You are on the nail today, Shark. I just think that
it's almost a shame for you to retire.
Yeah, your mind is still with it.
Kind of.
I just think that with everything that's going on in sports and guys moving teams and crazy contracts, he's the last really
one-teamer.
True franchise guy. I mean, he's there for 17 seasons.
Don't forget Hosey.
And J-Ram. J-Ram on track to be a first ballot guy, Shark.
On track. He's still 31 years old.
He's got a lot left to do.
Could Bama miss the playoff this year?
These are our burning questions. Could Texas return to the college football playoff this year?
So all the burners you need.
It really is. Big congratulations to Joey Votto. I love his retirement video, too, because literally just in a parking lot, it was like 10 seconds. He goes, "That's it. I've retired from professional baseball." That was it. That was the video.
Good for him.
Yeah.
I think the decision was made for him, but
they retired him. Do you think he still wanted to play? I mean, he was really.
He should have called it quits last year after the Reds released him. Didn't release him, but didn't re-sign him.
I can't wait until the Reds bring him back as manager.
They say that's going to be Barry Larkin. I don't know.
Oh, they're going to bring Barry in as manager?
He announces home games for them now, and people are like, well, if he can't even do 162 games in the booth, how's he going to do 162 in the dugout?
He doesn't have to show up. I mean, they could
let your players do it.
Zoom him in.
Yeah, that's fine. When we learned anything during COVID, you can basically do anything from anywhere on this planet. Yeah.
Anyway, Joey's a Canuck. He's a Canadian, and he wanted to play for his home team, and so that's why he went to Toronto, but never got a chance.
Sharky, listen to this. His OPS, with at least 5,000 plate appearances from 07 to 23, he's got a 920 OPS. Trails Mike Trout, David Ortiz. That's it. Those are the only.
There you go.
Those are the only
That's
guys.
Hall of Fame right there.
And he was second in runs created, only behind Miguel Cabrera. I mean, it's some pretty lofty company that he's up there with. So first ballot guy or not, I'm not
Probably
sure.
not, but
I think for sure he's going to Cooperstown. Before we get out of here today, our daily fan poll at 971thefan.com or on Twitter at 971thefan. With the announcement of Bo Nix being the starter in Denver, we now have 3 quarterbacks in the NFL who will be rookies to start the season. Which rookie starter will throw for the most yards in the NFL this season? Caleb Williams, Bears, Jaden Daniels, the Commanders, Bo Nix for the Broncos, or yet to be announced, Drake May still has an opportunity for the Patriots and Michael Penix for the Falcons.
I'm going to go with Jaden Daniels.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think he looks the best out of all of them in early returns.
I'm going to say Jaden Daniels as well. I think that he's got things cooking over there in Washington. I think they'll be better than people expected. Bob, I had so much fun today. What do you say we reconvene tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. if they allow us? You good with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Big little Friday for us as well. Everybody enjoy the day.
12 left, Shark.
12 left. That's right. 48
10
down.
minutes ago, I told you that.
12 to go. Everybody have a fantastic day. Uncle Bo and the boys up next. We're back live tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. to break everything down. Have a good one. Talk to you then. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. We are still watching some slight delays on I-70 westbound. The left shoulder blocked off right near that Kelton Miller Avenue exit due to a crash. Also expect some lane closures as crews work to clear up a crash on the ramp from 670 westbound to 315 northbound. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
This is a Fan Action Update.
Week 0 of college football fast approaching. Florida State and Georgia Tech is the headliner at noon on Saturday. Florida State's a 10.5-point favorite and minus 490 on the money line. Georgia Tech is plus 365 to pull the upset. Florida State is the ACC preseason favorite at plus 290. New ACC member SMU is giving Nevada 25.5 points on Saturday night. For your Action Update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
While the world whizzes by, enjoy a moment of me time with Tim Hortons $6 breakfast bundle. Savor a small hot or iced coffee, then add your choice of a mouth-watering hot breakfast sandwich and a crispy golden hash brown and your pick of a classic donut. All for $6, all just for you. Make your mornings all about me time with our $6 breakfast bundle. Available at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. Price and participation vary. Terms apply.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. Back to school time. Your kids probably have fancy friends. Isn't it about time you gave them a ride to be proud of? Actually, hell with the kids. Treat yourself to a new Lexus. Right now, it's the Golden Opportunity Sales Event with rates as low as 2.99% on ES, NX, and RX, as well as great lease payments. I've been a Jermaine customer for years, even before I started doing the commercials. If you're in the market, please stop in. Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. JermaineLexus.com.
Excuse me, waiter. There's a hair in my soup. A long purple hair.
I'm so sorry. I'll get the manager.
I'm the manager. How can I help?
Wait, weren't you the Plum Insurance mascot?
What gave it away? My long purple fur?
Something like that.
What if all insurance companies were like NJM and were known for putting their policyholders first, not gimmicks? Then all those insurance mascots would have to get real jobs.
I'll pass on dessert.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com